What's up, boys and girls? Hopefully you can hear me all good. Welcome to the stream. How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Yo, Jamie, what's up, bro? Let me just double check if we got a... Yeah, we got transcoding options are on. Let's go. A little bit late today, I do apologise. Hopefully everybody's doing good. It's good to see you. We're going to check out a few videos and then we're going to jump into some Terra Fantasy. I'm not going to try and watch too many today because we didn't get to play much yesterday. But we'll watch a few videos and then we'll get into it. I am ready for the weekend this week, chat. I am so ready. I'm so ready.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep!
Voliger followed your channel.
Hey, Voliger, thank you very much for the follow, man. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for the follow. How you doing, man? You good? It's good to see ya. So yeah, we'll check out a couple of vids, and then we're gonna hop into some Choff. Continue playing. Again, still having fun so far in the game. I've actually been enjoying myself. We do need to do some Wuthering Waves this week, though. And I just need to finish off. I'm like literally level 69 on the podcast. Nearly done. I want to do the Depths of Elusive Realm. And, you know, just finish off my quests as well. Got a couple of side quests to do ready for the new update, new banner. Gonna try and get ourselves as many asteroids as we can in between now and then, which won't be many, but we'll give it a go. We'll give it a go, guys. As well, if you are watching on YouTube, be sure to drop a like on the stream. If you're watching the short stream, you can like the video by touching and holding the screen for 2 seconds. The like button will pop up. You can like it like that if you're on mobile. Anyway, if you're on desktop, I don't know why you're watching the short stream. Go over to the YouTube channel. You can watch it in 1440p, or come over to Twitch and you can watch it over here as well in all the HD glory. And then again, when you're looking at my face, I don't know if you want the HD glory, you know? So, you're alright, Pix. I don't mind watching in the low res. Don't mind keeping it to the low res, mate. Just had breakfast. But how we doing anyway, though, guys? You can hear me all good? Sweet. Audio's alright, is it? Audio's alright. Oh, as well, bit of a segue from the gacha games I've been playing recently, but anybody who's been around my channel for a while knows I do like my shooters. Spectre Divide Beta is on the 13th, I believe, and I think Arena Breakout goes into early access on the 13th or the 16th. I'm not too sure, but soon. So we got some shooters to play again as well, boys, which I'm looking forward to because I've been a little bit starved recently. I did start playing Xifine, but I just got bored with it. It just didn't keep me hooked, you know. And that's not to say it's a bad game. I think it's totally serviceable, but it just didn't have enough to keep me hooked. You know what I mean? I feel like I need something that's, when it comes to shooters now, I like something that's a little bit more tactical, like Grey Zone or Arena Breakout, or potentially this what's it called, Delta Force game, or something that's a little bit more on the competitive side of things, you know, like Valorant or this Spectre Divide. Looks kind of cool. I'm liking the idea that you control 2 characters at the same time. It's kind of unique, that is. So interesting to check it out. Yeah, thank you very much for the follow, Voliger. Appreciate ya. Alright then, should we check out some vid? Should we check out some vid, guys? Check out some vid. Bye, mate. Pardon me. As you can't hear my AC on, can you? Got it up max today because it's warm again, man. It's so warm. Dude, I really liked your updates video. See, you're not talently void. I don't know about that, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. How you doing anyway, though, Neil? Welcome. Welcome to the stream. It's good to see you, Squire. It is good to see you. I'm okay with being totally devoid of talent. It's fine by me. I've accepted it, you know what I mean? It is what it is. But you know, if we can farm, I can try and farm, right? How's things anyway though, bro? As the flooding satiated, is it dropped away, or are you still soaked outside the front of your house? How you feeling as well, Jamie? How you feeling now, buddy? Feeling a bit better? Come on, remember your old Control Freaks video? Yeah, dude, I cringe. I was looking back at some of my old videos, man. I was like, oh, God. Well, I watch my new videos and I cringe, but yeah. Even worse. It's gone down by a considerable amount and the sun is out. Oh, nice, nice. Is that from that, what was it you saying? Was it like a water plant or something up the road or something? Is that from that? Getting there, still get occasional pain, slightly, but not as bad. Oh, that's good, dude. That's good. Look after yourself. Make sure you're getting plenty of sleep, drinking plenty of water. You probably, no point listening to me. You've got information from people who know what they're talking about, but you know, plenty of sleep. Plenty of water as well. I think water's really good for you when you got just things like that on you. Have you watched the Claire video that was mentioned yesterday? No, we'll watch that today. Actually, we'll watch that. I added it to my my watch later, so we'll check that out in a bit. Actually, I'm gonna we'll check out the 1.2 trailer for Wuthering Waves. We'll watch that in a little bit. I want to check out the Scar Nerve situation. We'll watch the Reshaping the Future Tower of Fantasy video as well. And then we might check out the Concord Obliterated by Chinese mecha game and woke localizers Seethe as Japanese publishers replace them. And maybe who in the Black Swan, the Shorekeeper Wuthering Waves video, but I think that's just going to be about what we've already spoke about on stream anyway, so we might not check that out. But we'll try and get round to all these, because obviously it is 1:15. I'm a little bit later today than I planned to be, but you know, it is what it is. I don't want to spend the whole stream watching videos. But yeah, we'll definitely watch the Tower of Fantasy one for sure. No, huge. Oh, that's it. Yeah, I remember you saying now. I remember you saying. Yeah. Well, that's good. At least it's gone down a little bit then. At least it's gone down a little bit. I'll tell you what then. We will start off and we'll watch the Wuthering Waves trailer. See what it's saying. Yeah, boys. Yeah, boys. Off malware. Malware bites. There's fish in the neighbour's yard. You should have got out there, man. Got yourself a beer. Got the rod out, you know what I mean? Okay, so it's the 15th this comes, yeah. Yeah. Stream's looking okay though. Sounding alright. Good to go. Alright, let's do this then. Okay, check this out then. Wuthering Waves version 1.2 trailer in the turquoise moonglow. We've got it's a week now till we get to play the new update. Let's check out the trailer directly from Wuthering Waves. Let's see what it's saying. The hype's building, boys. The echo dancing. So, okay, yeah, it is a paintbrush. I got corrected anyway, like when I watched another video. But when I first saw Jeji, I thought she was a witch. I thought it was a freaking wand and a broom. And they were just a smaller paintbrush and a larger paintbrush. As soon as I saw it, I was just, oh, cool, man. We're getting some, like, Harry Potter type stuff. But, yeah, no, I was totally wrong. Hey, it's my girl. And my other girl. And my other girls. And the turquoise moonglow. Let's go. I'm looking forward to this.
Embrace my emotions fully and create the art my heart yearns for. This is of the...
Dude, she's so cute, man. People saying that her design was trash. It's just like, what? What? I don't get it, man. I think she looks awesome.
Greatest importance to me.
That's pretty cool.
I won't give up easily, no matter who or what I'm up against.
I like her voice as well, actually.
Ink drops.
See, I thought that was a wand, because I'm stupid. Okay, so she's a rectifier, yeah.
Art unveiled. To create art that truly resonates, I must first accept
See, I thought that was a broom. Come on, you gotta give me that one. This is our new droid, yeah.
Chosen and fulfilled. Those wishes were their cries for help.
Cheeky, free resonator as well. I must admit, when I did see the footage of the kits in action, they do look pretty good. They actually do look pretty good. I like Jeji. I don't think his design's bad, as I've said before. I just think he's a little bit neutered in terms of the color palette, but I guess he's kind of in keeping with the game. But his kit looks pretty dope when he's using it.
Reconfiguration. Verity. Confined within limits. Seeing everyone's wishes come true and everyone in...
Okay, his arm does look pretty sick. But what I was saying is, you see like these little grooves? Like, don't you think they like just a little bit of gold or even a bit of blue there, just to like, you know, add a bit of contrast to it. I know we've got a bit of color on this like ring, this bracelet kind of thing here, but I just think the arm could have been a little bit more fancy, you know, some Winter Soldier type design to it or something like that, just to spruce it up just a little bit.
Enjoying the festival is enough for me.
We
Getting it for
are
free as well,
aware
so let's
of
go.
Certain painters rejected by the art exchange, nursing grudges and resorting to threats.
It's all my fault.
A painter? Never heard of him.
Dude, I love her design, I do.
Do we have to risk it all?
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
You created masterpieces I wish came from me. Bold, free. Only when you connect with your truest.
Dude, she's gorgeous, man. Like, I love her design. I'm not gonna lie, she's up there as one of my favorite characters in the game in terms of the actual aesthetic and the design of the character. I think she looks great, man.
Feelings can you create an exceptional piece of art?
August 15th, boys. August 15th. Let's go. So we're getting your boy for free. She's going to be the first banner, isn't she? And this is the weapons as well. Rhyme draped sprouts. That looks pretty cool though, actually, that does. What's his Verity's handle as well? I think a lot of people are probably going to be pulling for this, aren't they? Well, it depends what they do. I guess there's going to be that balance because you know you're getting in for free. Do you go all in as much as possible on JG and try and get some copies of that Anna weapon? Or obviously depending if you're a light spender or a whale or free. Or do you just think, you know what, let's get JG, let's try get a weapon and then we can like, you know, we can make sure we can get the dude's weapon. I always pronounce his name wrong, so I'm not even going to try again. Yeah, we'll just call him Yao. Maybe go for his weapon. It looks kind of cool. Like, the gauntlet there almost looks like a spaceship. Like some sort of battle cruiser. I know, that's just me. I see battle cruisers in everything. But I really like her weapon design, actually. I'm not a big fan of, like, the rectifiers and the gauntlets, but the rectifier looks kind of cool. I like it. It's very in keeping with her design, isn't he? Ooh, limited time event. By Moon's Grace, Moon Chasing Festival themed event. As the moon waxes full, Jinzhao hums with excitement in preparation for the Moon Chasing Festival. It is a beloved tradition where friends and family gather to wish upon the moonlit sky. Before the festival begins, whispers of the Moon Tree Lodge, where the wishes are granted, find their way where wishes are granted, find their way to you. Intrigued, you decide to. What are we getting there? So get a couple of echoes, some tuners, some Echo XP. Okay, that's always good to see a bit of Echo XP in there. I'd rather, you know, like, get rid of those and just double the Echo XP up. I'd like that. Oh, what's this as well? Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. Little things like this that are kind of abstract from the gameplay loop. I don't know what this is all going to be about, but I wanted more stuff like this that was kind of like the events that you get in Star Rail. They're like a separate from the standard gameplay loop in the game, you know, that's got nothing to do with the combat or traversal or just getting around the map how you normally do, but it's just something totally separate. It's almost like a little tabletop game or whatever it is, but I don't know what this is, but I'm interested because it looks a little bit different. Okay, it's the same description as we just saw, isn't it? Or is it? Okay. Oh, wait there, what's this? Interesting. Okay, what's this then? Okay, I'm intrigued by that, actually. I wonder what that is then. I wonder if it is going to be something separate or what. That looked kind of cool. Dude, it'd be kind of cool if we saw some, like, little, turn-based, side-scrolling combat thing within the game. Like, you know, just add new things. Like, just go all out, try something new. That's one thing I do like in Tower Fantasy. Even if everything didn't hit, they tried a lot of different stuff, and I'm only early in the game, and they've already saw that they've tried a lot of different stuff, and I like that. You know, just give it a go. If it doesn't really hit, next event, you can try something different. I think if we really, like, push the boat out and risk it, we'll get some great events rather than trying to play it safe too much, and hopefully this one's kind of cool. I don't know what that's going to be, though, but it looks kind of interesting. Jeji's companion story, okay. All right, companion story, interesting. Hopefully it's another banger, because Chang Li's was great. Nice. Some login rewards. This was the one that we saw in the leaks, wasn't it? That looked like it was some sort of tower defense. Limited to time defense event. Encore's Cosmos has mysteriously shown up near a strange gate, asking you to enter the gate to assist with some kind of test. During the test, Cosmos will provide echoids to significantly boost Resonator's combat power. You can complete the task with your friends. Can you complete it alone, though? I'm guessing you can, because it says you can complete the task with your friends, so I'm guessing they're just adding that on. I hope you can, because, you know, as somebody who just plays these games solo, 99.9, well, 100% of the time, I want to be able to do these solos, and I'm sure they're going to allow that, aren't they? Surely they will. Interesting. I think it's going to be like a tower defense mode, isn't it? So the leaks were right that we saw in the previous video, well, a couple of videos ago that we spoke about. Okay, we're getting some gameplay. So it is a little bit like the one that we saw in the Elusive Realm, where obviously it is a tower defense, because we kind of got a little snippet of that, didn't we, in the Elusive Realm? There's the one mode that you do when you're going through it, where they attack the gadget that's on the floor, and there's like, you know, a storm of lower levels, and then a few elites, and then a bunch of elites together, and you can throw the spears at them. That was actually cool, that was, so I'm glad to see this. Okay. To obtain a Phantom Echo. Let's go. Phantom Dream List. Nice. Nice. Okay. This is looking like a W update. Alloy smelt back again. So the leaks that we saw were all pretty much bang on. That's good to see then, that these people who have been dropping the information have been pretty much, like, so far, they've got everything right. Ooh, what's this? Eligible returning rovers will receive corresponding rewards by completing either check-in or event tasks. Okay. Dude, they need to make plushies. They need to. I would straight up buy a plushie. We get some solvents as well there. What was that? So it's going to be an event to win him. Converging past Moon Chasing Festival preparation campaign. Participate in by Moon's Grace and boost the popularity stakes for the Moon Chasing Festival. All right. Okay. All right, so we're probably going to have to do like a little quest to get in then. That's cool. All right, dude, this looks like a W event, boys. Event chat. I'm looking forward to this. Okay, Kuro, smashing it again. I'm just curious about what this is. Where is it? This thing here, what is this going to be? This looks interesting. Like, I'm kind of intrigued in this, to be fair, more than anything, because I want to see, like, different slices of gameplay added to the game to give us some variety of a gameplay loop. It's totally different. Look, is that, are they shell credits or what are they? Can't really see. It's too quick for me. This looks interesting, though. What's that saying there? Fireworks have long been beloved tradition in Huanglong, lighting up the sky with brilliant colours during every event. Build, upgrade this stuff to gain more popularity. Oh, okay. Okay, so I wonder if this is kind of like, oh, what was the event in Star Rail now? You know, oh shit, it was on the Lofu, and it was like the market stall event. I wonder if this is kind of something similar to that, where you're actually building up the event itself by the looks of things to make it more popular to bring people in, I guess. Okay, Legend of the Hollow Tree, border popularity, level 3, love me, love my stall. Okay, so it looks like that is kind of what we're doing here. All right, interesting. I'm looking forward to this. I hope this is something a little bit more than what I think it's going to be, if that makes sense. I want it to be like a decent event, because we haven't really got much of this in the game yet. Everything kind of just revolves around going somewhere or combat, so it would have been nice to do something a little bit different, that, like I say, separate from the traditional gameplay loop in the game. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this, guys. Big update, great trailer. Kuro continuing to absolutely smash it. 250,000 views in 9 hours as well, so people are interested. All right, this is good, this is good. What do you think? What do you think, guys? What do you think? You're definitely going to be pulling for her. Yeah, a lot of people were saying that they weren't a fan of it, either of the two characters, but I was just like, I don't get that, man. I don't get it. Okay. All right. I'm down for it. I am down for it, man. I shouldn't have turned my AC off. I am sweating. I'm sweating. Jeez. All right, should we watch this Reshaping the Future first then? Check this out. Yeah, looks like a good update. Looks like a good update. What's going on, Wolves? Where am I from? I'm from the UK. Alright, let's check it out. Dude, I can't wait for Never Needs to Ever Needs as well. Dude, Claire's got a badass shirt.
我拿到证据了，明白。我们在前面接应。
What he said he got English subs? Closed captions on that way.
我没猜错，这是他们做时空实验的铁证。他们为什么那么做？是，毕竟局势可能已经很不妙了。可是，糟了！
Did she just time jumped or something?
时空乱流。
Dude, almost for a second then I was thinking that almost looked like a Starship Troopers bug.
这是什么怪物？难道是下潜时空？一颗晶石怎么会有这么大的能量？
She's brought it back with her.
也被他们动了手脚。我是小心。
Dude, you can't beat a scantily clad waifu with a giant sword, can you? You know, you just can't beat it, man.
你先走。亨利教授，是我。
When will Western devs figure it out?
教授，我的假设没有错，联邦政府在进行时空回溯，这就是证据。怎么？
克拉瑞尔，你到底在说什么？
他刚才还……啊，悬浮核模式启动了。如果用到所有储备元能，这次回溯的规模会覆盖整个星球。万一中间出错，反应都会失控，要切断换塔能源，阻止回溯。
这样全球都会遭殃的。关键是我们现在也没证据啊。
来不及了。
喂，你别冲动啊！
对不起，老师，我们只有
You're
这个办
jacked.
法。
You know what? I must say, so far, this is quite a beautiful looking short film, whatever you want to call it, though. It looks gorgeous. The effects and stuff like this effect here looks really pretty.
喂，卢恩，
亲爱的，你终于
卢恩，先听我说，发布紧急避险指令，所有人现在必须立即疏散。
疏散？
对。换塔很可能失控，你们快走。
那你呢？
没时间了，一会儿再说。
元能超载，元能超载。
糟了！
Eek.
喂，亲爱的，我成功了，来接我吧。
你是谁？你是上周来的实习生克拉瑞尔吗？
什么？
喂，
不对，怎么回事？
喂，
What's happened? Oh, have like everything else gone back,
时空屏障，
but not her.
时空回溯已经开始了，我没能阻止他们。对不起，我打错了。
那再见。
再见，亲爱的，我现在就回去。
I don't think you're finding a way back through that though.
人类还会有未来吗？
已与系统网络建立联系。
诸位，准备好了吗？
准备好了。
我回来了。
Okay. Who's that? Yeah, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Yeah, dude, she definitely needs to become a playable character, right? For sure. I agree now. I get what you were saying from yesterday. Sure, you can compete her with a scantily clad waifu with a huge gun. True. Up the stakes, right? I feel you. I'm curious about this video here as well.
Boss, located on the 4th floor.
The Scar nerf situation is bad. Is this actually talking about in the Tower of Adversity or what? Because obviously, he's not out yet. But in games, they love to do that as well, don't they? When you go against the boss, dude's like an absolute badass, and then you unlock him, and he's just like your average guy in the squad kind of thing. But let's check out this video from Saint Tontas. The Scar nerf situation is bad. Anybody who hasn't checked him out by now, guys, should definitely check him out. Dude deserves more subscribers and more viewers. Makes great content.
Kuro just announced their first nerf in Wuthering Waves. It's not.
Oh, I didn't hear about this actually. I didn't hear about this at all. Okay, interesting.
Not to a character. It's not to a weapon. It's to a boss. Located on the 4th floor of the Tower of Adversity, Scar is a boss that has been causing players some problems. With a moveset heavily inspired by bosses from Elden Ring, he's an opponent that in many ways
I think his actual design is inspired by, I don't know if I think it actually might have been Elden Ring or Dark Souls. I'm sure his actual design in his second form was inspired by a character out of that. Don't know which character. I've only played a bit of Elden Ring and a bit of Bloodborne, so I don't know the entire roster of the Souls universe characters. Let's find out why he's been nerfed. That's not cool, though, if it's just because he's difficult, though. Because even though I haven't cleared all the content myself, and some of it is, I guess, frustratingly difficult, but I know why I'm failing most of the time, apart from sometimes when I think it is some behind the scenes server lag, when dodges are just not registering, you know? But for the most part, I know it's me failing.
Requires a different approach to combat to tackle successfully. At least on the current tower cycle. Kuro has recently announced that Scar is going to be attacking a lot less in the next reset of the Tower of Adversity.
Scar's high attack frequency has led to a subpar gaming experience. We sincerely apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused, and we promise to resolve this issue and provide compensation accordingly. Oh my god, dude, they're going to give people free stuff again. Are you crazy? Like, Kuro, you don't need to. Just like, if you feel it's a gameplay thing you need to do, just nerf him. I'm not sure it needs to be done, but just nerf him. You don't have to go, here's some free stuff, guys. We're sorry. We'll improve the battle experience with Scar after the next Tower of Adversity reset on August 19th at 4 server time. As compensation for the inconvenience, we'll be issuing Asteroid times 80 to all players. Please stay tuned to future official announcements for legibility and distribution time. Okay, all right. 80, I guess it's fine. It's nothing major, so I guess can't really moan on that. But you really don't need to do that.
As they've received a fair amount of criticism from the player base regarding how difficult this encounter
I didn't realize that people were so mad about this, actually.
is. Nerfs, especially in gacha games, are a very scary subject. With the context that Wuthering Waves is designed as a combat-focused, skill-oriented game, nerfs to enemies have had the hardcore portion of the player base wondering if this is a bad omen for what lies ahead. We all remember
Well, they've got to be smart about it, because at the end of the day, when it comes to a game like this, when it comes to any game, you don't want to cater too heavily or really at all to the 1% of the 1%, like your top tier, you know, your best of the best sweat lord players, because they're the smallest portion of the game at the end of the day. You do want to try and cater to the casuals, but at the same time, you want to make sure there is genuinely difficult content in the game that's not just a DPS check, that's not just a math check, that's not just a you don't have this character check, that's actually in this game anyway, because the way the combat's designed is a skill check. And I think it's important to have that, to always, if you can't necessarily clear something straight away, that was a weird noise I made, but if you can't clear it right away, it's something that you can go towards achieving. And for me, I like that in games. You know, I like to have content that I struggle with right from the get-go. Well, not right from the get-go, but when I get to it, it's something that I can't clear right away. Because you get that satisfaction when you do inevitably or eventually clear the content. So I think they've got to do it right. They definitely don't want to be catering to that vocal minority, but at the same time, they do want to make sure there's content in the game that's decently difficult.
Remember when Genshin Impact nerfed the Tartaglia boss fight, and how the game hasn't seen much challenging content since. Many players fear that Wuthering Waves and its challenging content may suffer the same fate. Today, we'll be discussing whether or not these nerfs and concerns are justified, breaking down the current dynamic of the Scar fight in the Tower of Adversity, where players are experiencing hardship, and whether or not these nerfs are actually healthy given the design of combat within Wuthering Waves. As always, if you're enjoying this content, please hit that like and subscribe button. I'll be the first person to admit that the Scar fight was one of the most difficult fights I've ever experienced within Wuthering Waves. While he lacks the raw damage and tankiness on hologram boss fights, the time limit for 3 stars within the tower adds its own unique pressure when
That's when it really comes. That's when you do get DPS checked in the game. It's not in a way of you get DPS checked from killing a character, but doing it within a time limit. Is really, but you can squeeze through a lot of these by efficiently using your kit, your concerto, your forte, all that sort of stuff. Obviously, if you're not your characters aren't leveled up, or you haven't done your forte circuit, or maybe even your weapons or echoes, you know, you're not set up right, obviously you're going to get DPS checked there. But I've definitely noticed there's some fights I've got into and I feel like, damn dude, I've just got totally DPS checked there, and I'm like, right, no, let's go back again. And I've used my kits right, I've used my switches right, and I've gone round in my rotation just right, and you clear it. It does make a massive difference. But yeah, the time limits, man, can be painful sometimes.
Approaching the content. However, Scar still does a massive amount of damage.
Jeez.
Enough to nearly one-shot characters and force you to spend more time on healers to survive, if you're a player who got hit by any of his attacks. His attack design with telegraphed, delayed swings, and huge hitboxes can take a while to get used to, and it's
That's straight out of something like Elden Ring, isn't it? The delayed swing, because they really catch you. Oh shit, man, was it Margot? I can't remember anyway. A couple of the fights in, I think it might have been Margot, when I first started playing Elden Ring, I was used to just like getting ready for the quick attack animation and dodging, and then those stalled animations where you think it's coming down, but then the enemy like waits that half a second and then swings and you get caught.
It's almost mandatory to repeatedly dodge throughout his attack chains, as it's difficult to get anything more than a counter in between those attacks unless you're willing to tank some hits or pull off some sick swap cancel moves. This isn't much different from other bosses with long, drawn-out attack chains. The problem that many players are facing, however, is how often he's attacking. With Scar's floor giving special fusion and resonance skill damage bonuses, it's specifically designed for Chang Li. It requires a lot of micromanagement, swap canceling, and use of damage mitigation.
The swap cancelling though, she's designed for that though as well, isn't she? Because I didn't realise how much you could do that with Chang Li, to be fair, until I watched a couple of videos.
Features like the Bellborn Geochalone and the damage reduction from transformative echo skills to get off a lot of her combos without, well, dying. I figured it out, but wow, it took a while, and it took me a—
See that though, that's the thing I like about the game, that you've got the complexity and learning kits and all that sort of stuff, but that, you know, not just learning the patterns of an enemy as well on the harder content, but like being like, right, I need to go at this differently. Maybe I need to change my echoes, you know, I need to switch it up here and I need to go at things from a different angle. Instead of looking at like raw damage, I need to switch to something that's a little bit different in a way. I kind of like that. Yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day though, if there's only a very small amount of people clearing it, and it's, I don't know, it's hard to say, because with this sort of game though, you want to be able to make it so majority of the people can clear the content, but at the same time, again, it's finding that fine balance, isn't it? It's difficult.
A while sweating on PC controls. What I've been able to realize, though, after numerous attempts across both cycles, is that there is a fundamental design problem with Scar in the Tower of Adversity. But it's not how often he's attacking. It's the types of attacks that he's using. The Tower of Adversity version of Scar has absolutely no parryable attacks. Not a single one. The only way to mitigate his damage is to either tank it with damage reduction buffs, dodge, or swap cancel. And that—
See, for me, I know that'd be a harder thing to change. But that would be a better thing to change for me, to have some parryable attacks within his attack patterns rather than just reducing how often he attacks. But I guess I understand that that's a lot harder to do. They can probably just tone down his aggression a lot easier than actually literally adding in parryable attacks into his roster.
That feels a bit off, especially when the weekly version of Scar has parryable.
Actually, I was just about to say that, thinking about it. He does when you fight him anyway. So they could just transfer that over, couldn't they? Surely, yeah. Thinking about it, I was just thinking, yeah, that'd be harder. But then as I was saying, I was like, wait a minute though. But the other versions of Scar do have parryable attacks, so yeah, interesting.
Attacks. What this means is that breaking his stagger bar and rendering him immobile and vulnerable to attacks is something that is much harder for Scar compared to virtually every other boss in the tower.
Yeah,
in
makes
my
sense.
3-star clear, I was only able to break him a single time, and only when he was already below half health. This is because intro skills are the only way to deal meaningful damage to Scar's stagger bar. And what this ultimately means is that this boss has very few openings that a character like Chang Li can capitalize on, especially for the average player. With a character like Chang Li designed around repeated combos and chained attacks that can easily lose a lot of her damage potential when she gets hit or interrupted, this makes her a bit difficult to pilot against the current version of Scar. And when Chang Li is the on-banner limited character and Kuro is, well, trying to...
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess that just makes sense in nerfing him for that reason. You're going to want to try, for the people who are, content clearers, who are going to be like, right, I need this character to clear this content. If the character's not really clearing the content because the content's kind of designed in a way that doesn't work with that, I understand them being like, right, we need to do something here because we want people who are going to decide to play like that to purchase the banner, don't we? So it makes sense.
To make money, this is not good for business. If the average player who makes up a majority of the player base doesn't have a good experience with a limited character in a fight specifically designed for them, that's likely going to have a significant impact on how they feel about the pulls that they spent and the pulls they might spend in the future. And believe me, it's not a positive impact. We have to remember that if we want Wuthering Waves to thrive, Kuro has to make money. If the design of a boss battle is threatening their revenue, it's in the best interests of the entire player base for that change to be made. That means more sales, more funds for development, and more fantastic, innovative character designs that we can all enjoy in the future. If the reason for a nerf is to ensure the health of the game in the long run, that's something that we as players should support.
Definitely, yeah, I agree with that. It's just whether it becomes a thing that continually happens. But then again, though, this will be, I guess, hopefully a learning curve where when they come to design content for next banners, they maybe think a little bit more about it and they design the content to work with the new banner, but still be difficult. But because obviously it kind of goes against Chang Li in the way he's designed, I guess. So it makes sense. So they definitely need to think about that in the future. It needs to be difficult, but it needs to also work with the current banner if it's designed for that. Because obviously, at the end of the day, we want the game to do well. And as he said, we need people to be spending on the game. So it makes sense.
However, the approach that Kuro is taking to reduce his attack frequency is, in my opinion, not the right way to go about it.
Yeah.
A huge part...
I think they should add in, go for the parryables. Some other options, I guess. But yeah, it's just making him less aggressive for me. It's not the best way to go about it because it's literally just turning him down, isn't it? And it's just kind of like on the nose.
Part of combat in Wuthering Waves is your reaction to enemy actions. In most boss fights, you can parry, dodge, or even sidestep attacks to deal damage across dangerous situations. With Scar, dodging or swap canceling for its invulnerability window is one of the only ways to fight this boss without getting your teeth kicked in. There's not a lot of choice when you approach this encounter, and it's rather disappointing how much different the tower version of Scar is compared to his weekly boss version. My solution is simple and reinforces the design principles behind combat in Wuthering Waves. Just add some parryable attacks to this godforsaken boss. If he has a ground slam move that can deal over 10,000 damage, that is something that should be parryable. There needs to be skill expression in this fight beyond pressing the dodge button or swap canceling.
I agree with
and
that.
parries are one of the most satisfying vehicles for skill expression in the game. With parries dealing a tremendous amount of damage to stagger bars as well, this would also open up many more damage windows for players if they're able to capitalize on those parries. Kuro, with this change, would be able to turn Scar's high attack frequency into both a challenge and an opportunity, instead of the dodge fiesta that the fight currently is. With Chang Li having fantastic...
I do agree with that. I think just adding in the parryables would be a better way to go about it, because he's still the same dude. He's still doing the same amount of damage. He's still being just as aggressive. It's just that it allows people to be able to use the skill to combat it, basically, rather than it got kind of working against the banner in a way. And then we'll, increase the likelihood that people who want to clear content using particular characters and the meta that's for that banner, they're going to still go for those pulls if they are content clearers in that regard. But at the same time, it's still going to allow skill expression, as he says, to be a part of it, rather than just being like, right, we're just going to make him, less aggressive, which is a little bit of a shame, really. I just think it's a bad way to go about the nerf. And as I said, hopefully they'll learn from this in future banners. If they are going to want to make the content hard, but kind of cater to a particular character for that banner, they need to do it right so they don't have to just kind of turn the dial down. Because if you do get into that sort of situation, it does kind of ruin it, because you want the sort of hard content in the game to genuinely be hard and not just be, but hard in the way that allows you to use your mechanical skill to get around it, rather than just be like, okay, we've kind of not designed this the best at the moment, so we're just going to turn him down, really. It's kind of a weird choice to take out the parryable attacks, really. It's kind of crazy.
Parry windows across many of her abilities. This would also heavily improve her overall feel in a fight literally designed for her. Wuthering Waves is a game that thrives off options and player decision making. The problem with Scar right now is that there's not a lot of decisions that you can make in the fight. It's not that the fight is necessarily too hard, it's that the fight is far too limiting in what tools you can actually use to clear. Hopefully, this overview was helpful in highlighting why exactly Scar got nerfed, and why Kuro's current approach might not be the best way of addressing the situation. While we haven't...
So he gets nerfed in like nearly 2 weeks. Okay. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's the best approach to do it like that, because you're literally just turning him down, which I just think it's like kind of the simple way to go about it. But
gotten the full details of the changes just yet, we can only hope that they haven't made the fight strictly easier. Giving players options for the fight, instead of simplifying it, would make the overall experience a lot better. As always, if you enjoyed this content, please make sure...
I agree with that, because at the end of the day, that's the base thing for this game, isn't it? It's nuance and layers and complexity, and using your kit and using your skill all together to get around, to overcome. And I think by just saying like, oh, we're just going to turn him down kind of removes that. If you just bring in the parryable version of him, dial it up a little bit though compared to how it is in the weeklies, then you've got a content, in my opinion, that's going to allow people to tackle it in different ways. Because I think that's the best way for this game as well to become successful, is to allow people to attack different content in a different way, if that makes sense. So there's not just one particular way, and I know there's not now, but there's not just one particular way to beat hard content. There's a multitude of ways, and people can use their skills in different ways against some of the harder content. But yeah, great video from Saint Tontas again. Dude makes awesome content. You should check him out. Drop a like on that. The Scar nerf situation's bad. I definitely don't think it's the right way to go about things, though. What's going on, Zira? I think with that sort of stuff though as well, I can understand that people on mobile, that's going to be a pain in the arse to do if there's no parryable attacks. On mobiles, probably kind of rough, isn't it? I think sometimes when we're on a PC, we forget as well there is some people using mobile phones, which Dude, I just don't even understand how people play this game on mobile, let alone attempt the harder content in the game, personally. Fair play, though. Fair play. Alright,
Hey, what's up, guys? We're up here.
Alright, let's watch this video. Let's watch this video. I'm gonna check this out. I mean, shit, Chicks, yeah, what's this Paris stuff you speak of? Right, dude? For real? That's one good thing for people who are ranged users. The update regarding the lock-on feature, that's going to improve things, because like the lock-on situation gets on my tits sometimes. It's got to be 10 times worse if you're maining ranged characters. So that getting improved, I think, is going to impact range users the most. Really, are going to get the best benefit from that. She's favorite. She's a cool character. I'm just not really a ranged enjoyer in this game, and it might be down to the lock-on system. I might have a bit more enjoyment without it. I think it's just that quite a lot of the kits on the ranged characters don't interest me that much. I'm not saying they're bad, they're just personally they don't interest me. That's why I was saying I hope we do get like some different weapons for range, shotguns, rifles, and the kits just work a little bit differently in terms of the attack animations. I'd like to see some that are at range, but can also, that work in a bit more of a close quarters kind of way. I don't know how to describe what I'm trying to think of. Like, I can picture what I want the character to do in my head, but I can't really express it properly. Yeah, I'm just not really a big range person, personally. Alright, woke localizers seethe as Japanese publishers replace them. What's this about then? Rev says Desu, check this video out.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're up here. So today we have another round of localizer-related drama. They are once again reaping what they have been sowing for many years, because now a lot of Japanese publishers...
AI translations for light novels. Dude, again, I have definitely, I think, got a bit of a hot take when it comes to the AI in a lot of places in regards to, like, people's jobs in industries and such. Personally, I don't want to see people losing work, but at the same time, from a consumer point of view, if it means we get more efficient game development, stuff comes out faster, we get more, in terms of, like, look at extra NPCs. Just imagine if all NPCs in a game were voiced. I'm talking about just the random side characters. They were all voiced, and you could continue to expand on that all the time because companies were using AI to do so, and it sounded great as well. We're not quite there yet. I don't think I'd have a big problem with that. I get it from people who are in the industry. It does suck. Advancements do always hit certain industries and hit people's employment and livelihoods. And then a few years later, nobody cares because it just becomes the norm. And I'm not saying I don't care, but I think from a consumer point of view, I'm kind of like that when it comes down to like the plagiarism stuff in video games. I don't really care. If a game looks at another game and takes a lot from it, even copies it, looks at the homework and just comes out with something better, I got a better game and I'm happy.
Publishers are turning to AI translations for their English translations of their work. Now, in a week where a lot of people have been focusing on Kotaku and all the nonsense going on over there, and stay tuned for some updates regarding them in the next couple of days, localizers have stepped up to remind everyone how unlikable they are. So this picture right here really speaks volumes, okay? So you have two articles back to back from Bounding into Comics. One week, you have Western localizers proudly bragging on social media about butchering translations. And then the next article is covering...
Really? Why is that something that you'd brag about? What would you brag about doing your job badly? Interesting. I'd probably need to know more about that, because I don't understand the context of why somebody would do that unless they are coming from, I don't know, their cultural, political viewpoint, and there's something in that they didn't like, so they've changed it to appease themselves. And then when people have had issues, I'm like, oh, go fuck yourself, I'm happy about doing that. Yeah, I guess you can't really get mad then if that's the case. Don't know if that is, but I'm just trying, I don't know what I'm pulling from that.
Those same English localizers who are now mad that Japanese publishers are using AI instead of their services. It really speaks for itself. Again, reaping what you sow. So let's start with the first article here. It is titled, Western Localizer proudly
here
brags
we
after
go.
butchering Sentai Filmworks' English localization of 2.5 Dimensional Seduction. Now,
Right.
that is the most localizer thing. I already believe them, and I already have some ideas of who it might be. But first, let's talk about this anime. It is one that is a recent adaptation of a very raunchy series. And of course, we've already seen some censorship of this on its release to the West. We've also seen some butchering.
Dude, it's kind of crazy. Obviously, I don't know what this is, and I don't know whether it deserves to have stuff censored. But I remember growing up, and in the West and in Britain, and I guess the same was in America as well, especially in Britain, like, TV when I was growing up in the UK was a little bit wild sometimes after 9 o'clock. Like, there was some crazy shit on TV, like, just even thinking about things like Euro trash, and, you know, there was, like, it was a little bit wild for kids in the UK growing up after 9 o'clock on the normal TV. You used to look at other countries in different places and be like, oh, they never get, even if it was necessarily great content to be seen for younger people, it was like you was allowed, in a way, it felt like you was allowed to see everything. And it feels like more and more now, those countries that I remember looking to when I was a kid being like, man, they seem to get everything censored. It's us now, you know? Like, and I'm not saying that I don't know about this. I don't know whether it got a bit weird. I don't know. And it needed to be curtailed a little bit, I guess. But it's like, it's just kind of gone like that now. We've become the almost like conservative, you know, like people, even though it's in the guise of a lot of the time as like progressive liberalism. It's kind of weird. Like it's come full circle in a way.
Of the translations in the previews of this anime adaptation, and all of this makes a lot more sense when you realize who's in charge of this localization. It is, of course, the infamous localizer, Katrina. This is someone who...
Okay, alright, okay. I know where this is going, and I can probably understand the motivations for why then.
Who is generally despised by a lot of anime and manga fans. She represents the worst of translators. She is someone who has, for many...
So, I was right then. Obviously, I don't know just yet. So my assumption that it was potentially for people's political and cultural motivations why they purposely changed things from the initial or original works, which is wild. And then if that company then turns around and goes, yeah, we're not going to use your services anymore, we're going elsewhere, for them to get buttered about it, it's like you're not even representing the work that was being given to you anyway, if that's the case.
Years. Made mistranslations, and not just made mistranslations, also lectured people in the process and done it in a very smug and snarky way. And she has many different quotes that really tell everything that is wrong with localizers. She's made quotes where she has said that she tries to use her localizations as a way to censor what she...
I know I'm opening a huge can of worms, but here goes. As translators, what is the right way to handle offensive content? Who determines what gets left in and what gets censored? A long thread about translation theory, ethics in localization and capitalism. Oh, God. Well, I think if your job is to translate something verbatim to let people in other regions know what's being said in this works, your job is not to be an editor. Your job is to be a translator. Soon as you're becoming an editor, you're in fact infringing upon that original content to change it for your views. Nobody's views. Nobody's asking for this. You're telling people this is what they need to see. This goes back again to stuff within the gaming industry in the West. There's too much of this in the West now. Too many people thinking that they need to change other people's viewpoints on things. You know, we used to live in a world, especially in the West, where people would be like, right, I don't agree with your views. I even despise your views, but fucking whatever. I just ain't going to listen to them. But now we've got to this point where people claim to hate these people, but then want to change them. They don't want to allow them just to have their views, even if they might be horrible, offensive, whatever. They want to change the cultures that they're trying to insert themselves into. You got people coming into the gaming space who actively kind of dislike gamers, but then want to change the way gamers view things and think that they'll somehow do it by lecturing them and retconning things, retconning IPs and just swapping things here and there as if it's ever going to work. It's just, oh man, it's so annoying. Like, eventually I do believe all of this stuff will go away. And I think we are starting to get to that point where we're seeing it more and more. There's more and more pushback coming from all this sort of stuff. And it's great to see as well, because these sort of people, You know, they shouldn't be in these jobs in the first place, and fair play if these companies, you know what, fuck it, we'll just turn to AI to let that do the job then.
She deems as offensive content from the Japanese version of what she's localizing. She also labels basically anyone who criticizes her as a weeb, and on top of that, we can relate what's going
See that? This is what I mean about these people. Again, my point, it goes back to the gaming thing. You've got somebody working in this space, in the anime space, and then he's using the term weeb to insult somebody. You know, it's like you're in the anime space. It's like, you know, when you hear people insulting gamers and the way gamers are. It's like, why the fuck are you in this industry then? You know? Or like, why are you trying to interact and change these people? You're not gonna. You know, you're actively like trying to insert yourself into a space you claim to dislike. It's like, it's really weird. I'm unfortunately doing some of my phonest localization work on the anime about a high school girl who's legitimately sexually attracted to a corgi.
going on with this current dimensional seduction anime with what she was in charge of a year and a half ago when she was the localizer for the Inukai anime, which again, a very raunchy anime, and she felt it upon herself to not only disrespect the series and the fans of it, but she also...
What are things like that blanked out? Like, does YouTube really pick up on stuff like that? And here I thought you'd have resting bitch face. This is at my point again, like we've like the West now. Why the hell do people feel that they need to censor the word bitch? Like, what the fuck?
Yeeted in a bunch of Gen Z language, literally using yeet, by the way. And we're seeing that happen again with this new anime. People have found screenshots like this where she used language.
Yeah. She's got a cute figure and a great ass and a real tuckle of a flat-chested lady. You said you'd never cheat on Liliel. Tig Biddies would ruin her whole vibe anyway.
Like, Tig Biddies would ruin her whole vibe anyway. Yes, Tig Biddies for some reason. And
see, that's just straight up not even doing a translator's job. You're trying to... You're trying to play the job of an editor. You literally are trying to play the job of an editor at that point, aren't you? Why would you expect these companies to continue working with you if you're going from the, we've hired you to do this job for us, and then you've decided, well, what I'm going to do is go outside my job and do this job that I've decided that I've got. It's like...
He would actually justify this on social media. Someone asked, why Tig Biddies? Does he goof up the description on purpose in Japanese in a similar way too? Emoto makes sense. He's being an otaku weirdo, which we'll get back to that quote in a second. But Katrina responds...
Like for me, if you had any morals, personally, you just won't work on this stuff. Why would you even bother, like, being a localizer? Whether it's paid, non-paid, you know, via a third party, whatever it be. You know, if you like, right, this is kind of... I don't really like this. This is a bit... it goes against my sensibility. Just don't fucking work on it.
By saying, yes, it's the end of a long rant about how much he loves flat-chested characters. In quotes, real otaku love characters with flat chests. And on top of that, we would see some more interesting decisions by Katrina, where we see this dialogue here where he refers to the character as his Emoto, where she replies saying, I don't want to be your goddamn sister, obviously changing Emoto to sister. And she would explain this on Twitter as well, and say that this was a calculated effort on her behalf. In fact, she would clarify her stance in the replies to this user who said, because Emoto is a word used by weebs to talk about the fantasy of having a little sister, it makes sense to me at least, where Katrina replies saying, correct. So obviously this is some attempt to shame people or demonize the word Emoto because it...
Yeah, but, okay, whatever. Outside of that, some stuff in the Japanese stuff and anime can get weird. I've said this before, but this is who this is designed for. Like, why? I don't understand why you're working on it. I just don't get why you're working on it, you know what I mean? I just don't get it.
In their headcanon, this is something used by the weebs. Once again, the weebs are striking again, causing Katrina some issues here. They live rent-free in her head. And by weebs, like I said, anyone who criticizes her or has the nerve to question her mistranslations. And on top of that, we would see another member of the industry in Katrina's replies, this localizer named Sarah Moon, who would proudly say that they have made mistranslations.
Another white woman. Dude, what is it with white liberal Western women? Like, dude, why, man?
in their works for the exact same reason as Katrina, who replies saying, "I love this." Yep, they're doing this in broad daylight, ladies and gentlemen. As I've always said, I'm not here trying to go to bat for these localizers, but I think a great piece of advice to them that I could give is to get off of social media. Because I believe genuinely that a lot of the mistranslations localizers have made were discovered because they bragged about it on...
That's true. Like, you know, it's one thing making mistakes. It's another thing if you're doing it on purpose, but then to publicly, well, basically expose yourself to be doing that. Like, how is that going to help you in your job, in your career, in your endeavors going forward? You know, it's like working for somebody as a contractor and then publicly letting the people who you're contracted to knowing that, hey, by the way, I just decided to go do my own way. I know you wanted this. I just thought, fuck that, throw it out the window. I thought that was weird. Didn't like it. Doing my own thing. What? You don't want me to work for you anymore? What?
On social media. If they just made the mistranslations and it went out there, a lot of people wouldn't notice it. But people notice it when the localizers responsible for the mistranslations go on to Twitter and brag about the fact that they did it. That's how a lot of mistranslations are discovered, and we're seeing these people do this in broad daylight because for years they did all this stuff with absolutely no blowback, so they really can't change their ways. Now that happened around July 22nd, and about a week later, we get this follow-up article from Bounding into...
They don't care about the works they're ruining. It's like hubris, isn't it, that though? You know? To work for somebody else on their work in terms of localizing it, but then to make it that they're ruining it when you're the one, as again, using a position as an editor in a sense rather than a translator to change the works.
Comics titled this: English localizers furious over Japanese publisher Shogakukan's decision to use AI translations for light novels. In quotes, they don't care about the works they're ruining. How ironic.
Dude, it's crazy, isn't it? That is the thing with the West nowadays. We're like, you know, there's all this like anti whatever it is, you know, racism, sexism, transphobia, whatever it might be, you know? There's all this like left-leaning and whatever you want to call it, not to get into political sides at all, like I'm not trying to go down that route, but especially in the West, there's this idea that, you know, the anti-colonial rhetoric of interference and all this, and then whenever it suits them, they'll be incredibly divisive and patronizing towards other cultures, other countries, because their activist mindset, they could just never switch it off. And then you see a lot of the times these people, and I'm not talking about these actual people here, they can't switch it off and they end up seeing stuff slipping through, and it's just like, you sound way more one of the isms that you claim to rally against kind of thing, you know, because you just can't switch off this continual activist victim mindset, like of always rallying against the status quo, so to speak, and constantly trying to change other cultural viewpoints when it suits you, but then at the same time rallying against said thing when it suits you as well. It's like so weird.
Ironic. 1 week before this, these localizers were proudly bragging about their mistranslations, and then now they're upset because these Japanese publishers are replacing them with AI. Again, reaping what you have sown for many years. So as the article discusses here, Shogakukan recently announced...
It's the work as well she's working on. She's specifically working on stuff that, you know, the idea that like using weebs as a pejorative is kind of weird because, you know, weebs will self-identify as weebs. And I think to work on something that is clearly weebish and then to like use that as some sort of pejorative to attack the community is just like, what the hell?
A light novel app called Novella.
You know, it's like working in journalism for football while you hate football and then insulting the people who enjoy football while you butcher the works or lie about stuff within the sport. It's just like, why are you even involved in this? Go do something else.
Bellis, which will be using AI to translate various light novels and what have you. And they decided to use Mantra AI translation engine to help localize their books. And we've heard that name before. Now, a lot of anime related accounts on Twitter were talking about these developments. However, they would share everything about this except a very crucial fact. In tweets like this, you will not see any mention that these AI translations are guided by humans. So the final product is reviewed by humans. So it's not just purely AI, it's actually being reviewed by humans.
It will be soon. It will be soon. You know, it will.
At the end of the process to make sure everything is okay. However, leaving out that fact, a lot of people were jumping on this app, and mainly localizers. You see many members of the industry very upset at the prospect that they might be losing their jobs. And they ironically say things like this: when there are errors front and center marketing, I dread to think of what the bulk of it's going to turn out like. This is a disrespect for the medium and your audience. But hey, I'm sure...
Is it really disrespect though? Or are you the ones disrespecting the audience by believing that you know better and what they should see? You're the arbiter of censorship. You know what they should be seeing in regards to how a work's translated, even if it totally differs from the original. And I understand some things can get lost in translation, but actively being like, I don't like this, I'm going to translate it in a different way. And then when said company goes, you know what, we're not going to work with you anymore, we're going to do it via AI, that however soulless you want to say, it's just a translation. At the end of the day, a translation is not an expression of human art or human creativity. It's literally just translating a language into another language. There's no need really for humans. I understand people are potentially losing the job, but if you're bad at your job and you actively brag about purposely being bad at your job, why would you even be surprised or angry that you're getting the sack? And how would you even be able to try and twist that into an argument of, well, look at the disrespect. Look at the disrespect they're showing the community. It's like you were the one showing the community disrespect by believing that you knew better for them of the original works. When, let's face it, at the end of the day, people who are into this sort of stuff are into it because of the Japanese sensibility and cultural viewpoints and creativity around this sort of stuff. You know, that's why a lot of people like anime. They don't want a fucking American's viewpoint on how anime should be made, because it's not fucking anime at the end of the day then, you know. That's why you get so many fucking attempts from Westerners to create anime. They just fucking suck. Because they just think, oh, if I create waifu-looking characters, then all of a sudden it's going to be good. So it's not.
Saying that these AI translations are disrespecting the medium. Meanwhile, they've been disrespecting the medium for decades at this point and been getting away with it. Here's another quote saying, I'm asking all...
Has it been decades though? Like, I don't know. Because like, I feel like these sort of people wouldn't have been doing this before on purpose. They might have potentially been doing it by accident. The only time I feel like potentially people who was translating stuff for Western audience back in the day might have been changing stuff because it might have been leaned on by potential regulators or governing bodies because they believed it needed to be censored, you know, rather than them being like, right, this is my opinion to change it. Because I feel like people back in like the 90s and the early 2000s wouldn't have had these viewpoints to be like, right, I need to change this because this is how I feel. I could be wrong. I feel like that's something that's potentially probably happened in the last 5 to 10 years. Because that's where, you know, it's been over the last 10 years, really, hasn't it? This sort of attitudes really grew in the West.
All of you, the readers and audiences in the English-speaking sphere who are against AI and machine translations to drive this Shogakukan app down to rock bottom.
What? I don't understand it. Like, why would you really be against AI translations other than a few people maybe losing the job, which sucks? Well, that's progression, isn't it? You know, a lot of farmhands lost their job when, you know, agriculture become mechanized, but we wouldn't look back now and just say, oh man, we should get rid of all the mechanized agriculture. I'll happily spend more on my food and not get as much because, you know, humans are going to be doing it. We wouldn't do that. So like for me, again, I understand when people argue it from an artistic expression side of things, and I get it. People losing the work always sucks. But for me, I think this is a perfect use of AI. It's how it should be used for rapid translation. You know, we've seen it now on like real time with phones, you know, being able to have conversations with other people using AI. We've seen demos of it recently, haven't we? I don't know if it was Apple or it was Android or whoever was showing people being able to have conversations across different languages real time. Like that's fucking clutch. You know, and this is a perfect adaptation and another use of it in that regards.
Bottom and into the negatives. Make them regret their decisions to disrespect human art. Again, the irony. And of course...
What's changed way back, just easy to see nowadays. My thing is, though, is necessarily that it wasn't changed, is that the reasons for it being changed was less about probably individuals who were working on it, who were just like, I'm going to take the editorial choice now to change this. Potentially that could have happened. I'm not like saying everybody, but I feel like, especially going back a few decades, censorship usually came from governing bodies, you know what I mean? Where nowadays censorship's coming from individuals who believe that they know better. Where I'm not saying it's any different in a sense, but like the individuals who are doing the job are doing that now, complaining that it's not working out for them, where previously it might have been more likely that they had to change it because this is what was expected from the body that dealt with translation and the allowance of publishing of certain works in different regions. Because obviously different countries have all different expectations and regulations on certain content that goes into the country, and the people working within that framework have to adapt to that country's, I don't know, regulations, law, red tape, whatever you want to say, where this is obviously nothing to do with any regulation or governmental body regulation or red tape. It's like self-regulation from the translators themselves, isn't it? And I would imagine that's probably a lot more of a thing nowadays than it was decades ago. Now, I'm not saying there wasn't people doing that as well, but I just feel like, you know, the way things are nowadays, I just feel like there's way more people taking upon themselves now.
Who else would comment on this but Katrina? It is expected. Anytime there is a localization discussion, she comes in to share her really just arrogant opinion on this. And again, ironically saying this, well, at least they were honest. They only care about cutting costs, not about getting readers good translations. Do you think the authors of the light novels would want their international fans reading garbled versions of the prose they worked so hard on? How disrespectful. The nerve of Katrina to say this once again. How disrespectful. The person who has been vandalizing anime and manga for years, the person who's been disrespecting original works, their creators, and also fans of those works for many years, is now calling this an act of disrespect. Basically,
no, it's like Chinese whispers in a sense. It's like being told something from somebody, passing it on to another person who's interested in what that person's got to say, totally taking everything out of context, changing what they said, and then passing that on to the other person. I mean, that other person, because you know what? I'm not going to use you as my proxy now to let people know what I'm saying. I'm going to go direct to them. And then you going, wow, the disrespect, man. You know? What?
Providing these translations to a Western audience that might not be getting it otherwise. And you would see Katrina coping pretty hard in some further replies, saying that, you know, don't get me wrong, like any other tool, machine translation and AI have their uses, but you don't use a jackhammer to nail a painting to the wall, just like you shouldn't use these localizers to translate these very good pieces coming out of Japan.
That's such a disingenuous argument. You don't use a jackhammer to nail a painting to a wall, as if that's anything similar, as if that's even something that's comparable. You know?
But again, this whole situation, right? These localizers act like fans are trying to frame AI as the best route for translations. It is not the best route. Of course, a proper human translation is the best, but nobody's going to feel bad.
But for now, this is a thing that a lot of people keep saying with AI. In my opinion, like technology, like the advancements in AI has been insane over the last couple of years. And it's like at the minute, especially in the last 12 months, it feels like every freaking month. As somebody who was like, you know, been dabbling in the space a little bit in regards to generative AI, the rapid progression is scary. You know, it's scary. And I don't mean, oh, Skynet are going to take over. I just mean in terms of, holy shit, dude, the advances are coming on so freaking fast. That, like I was talking about with the voice acting, it won't be long till we have AI voice actors that you will really genuinely struggle to tell the difference between an AI voice actor and a real human being. Now, obviously, there's the arguments of the moral perspective there and the artistic side of things and all that sort of stuff there. I'm not even arguing that. I'm just saying I genuinely think it won't be long till we get to that point. We're not there yet. For the most part, you can usually tell. Most people can anyway. Well, maybe not most people, but anybody who's got any sort of... Well, I think most people can. I think most people can. And it's obviously we're getting there because a lot of people get scammed by these AI adverts now, don't they? When they use face swapping and audio swapping and stuff like that. That we're almost at that point because people are getting, and you know, some people are incredibly easy to scam. I understand that. But we're getting there. So, you know, the idea that AI isn't smart or nuanced enough to craft translations that audiences want to read and pay for, I think is just like, you know, not true, really. Because if it's a direct translation, that's what people want to read and pay for, don't they? They don't want to pay for what you view that the translation should be because of your sensibility, your moral compass, or whatever. That's not your job to have a moral compass in that regard. Your job is to translate verbatim what's going on. And again, I understand there's things that get lost in translation and words that don't necessarily exist in other languages, so other words kind of have to be found. I get that. But other than that, you shouldn't really be adding your own, you know, your own sauce to the fucking dish.
For these localizers when they're replaced by AI, when they've been disrespecting these works for decades. And down here, she'll also say that a lot of fan translation groups already publish machine translations and do them for free online, so you're giving international fans what they already have, which is kind of ironic because why are you complaining if people are already doing this? So it's okay if
exactly. If fan translation groups are already publishing machine translations, you're giving international fans what they already have. But if people are happily using that, then it's fine, you know? And I would argue that there's probably some people who are using some AI systems that are not exactly the best and are mistranslating stuff, because that happens in AI. We're still at a point now where stuff can just like be wildly off the mark. It can, but it's getting less and less so. And, you know, AI is going to be at the point very soon where it's infinitely faster than humans and it's infinitely more correct and there is way less mistakes, and it's just gonna purge a lot of these sort of roles, really.
Fans are doing it for free. She's essentially advocating for piracy right here, which is based but not really her intent, I'm sure. And on top of that, she would go further saying, but these companies don't care about that. They care about their authors, their customers, or they don't care about their authors, their customers, or the works they're ruining with machine translation. All they care about at the end.
Fortunately, the English manga LLC scene is still dedicated to hiring human translators, editors, and letters to produce high-quality localizations. Again, to me, if you can speak a language really well, that's something I can't do. But I don't necessarily think it's a talent that requires high quality to do. If you could do it, you should be able to just translate it. It's already done for you. You just translate it. And again, here she mentions this here, editors. You know, I don't think that's what your job is. I could be wrong in some regard. There may be, but your job is to translate it. Again, this is the big issue here. You're not translating it. So that's like having a translator in regards to, I don't know, a criminal court case where somebody doesn't speak English and the person's like, yes, officer, I didn't break into that place. And the translator's like, he said, jog on. He didn't mess around with that shit. But, you know, it's not a different answer, but you've changed the terminology drastically to where the officer's going to be like, oh, somehow I don't believe you now because you're kind of disrespectful. You know what I mean? I know it's a totally terrible comparison and analogy, but you get what I'm saying? It's like, really, you're not translating now. You're deciding to come up with your own shit, man.
Is money. And on top of that, she would say, fortunately, the English manga localization scene is still dedicated to hiring human translators, editors, and letters to produce high-quality localizations. And now we've got an awards ceremony to recognize the humans that bring authors' work.
Or is this even an argument? They were paid to do the job, they didn't do the job correctly, and they got fucking fined and they deserve to be fined. Exactly, and the worst part about it, they actively advertised that they were doing the job badly, and it wasn't because they were making mistakes. You know, it's one thing if you come out and you go, I made mistakes, I'm a bit new, I fucked up, I'll do better. But they're like, I'm actively doing this because I believe this should change because this is the way I feel. And hey, I'm going to let everybody know that I'm doing it. It's like, well, you know, and then you're not expected to get fired. There's a reason so many go straight to the pirated fan subversions of the anime. Exactly. The Japanese publishers are seeing that and going, do you know what? Let's just cut out both middlemen here. We'll get rid of the fan subbing. We'll get rid of the people who are freaking fucking our work, and we'll just directly publish it to everybody, and we'll cut out both of them. And hey, everybody's happy.
Work into English with love and respect. That's so typical of localizers needing to pat themselves on the back with their own awards ceremony for the slop that they produce. But overall, like I said, you reap what you sow. Nobody feels sorry for these localizers.
Yeah, I don't.
And it makes sense that some of these companies, these Japanese publishers, would want to replace them with AI because Like many other companies, you can draw parallels to Sweet Baby Inc. When people discover that certain people or consultation groups or what have you are involved with projects, they have inherent concerns. Fans have inherent concerns about the quality of that product because of the history of these localizers, whether it's in anime and manga or in the video game industry with companies like Sweet Baby Inc. But for now, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time.
So I think fundamentally, it goes back to these people inserting themselves into culture that they don't like. They do, and they don't like parts of it. They like the parts that they think are the good parts, and they want to change the parts that they don't like, even though a lot of the time the parts that they have distaste for or disdain are the major parts of that culture. And it's just like, why are you trying to insert yourself in and change things? You know? It's just so, oh man, it's just super like distasteful, and it's just like, just fuck off. Just fuck off. And if these companies are figuring out ways to make your job or your contribution obsolete and irrelevant, then more power to them, man. More power to them, you know? I love that. Based, in my opinion, from these publishers. It's good to know what? We can't trust humans, especially these white liberal women. Let's just use AI, man. Problem solved. I love that. I love it. Should just hire the fan subbers. Yeah, they could do that as well, yeah. Yeah. Hey, you never know. They might start bringing in these fan subbers to be the humans who overlook the AI work, and then everybody's happy, you know. They can make the tweaks when the AI makes mistakes. They get an easier job, I guess, and they still get to be involved in the whole situation, and then everybody wins, and then they can all laugh at those people over there and be like, ha ha, fuck you. They can localize their favorite Yaoi novels and feck off. It's wild, isn't it? Like how people just like, you know, can't help themselves. They can't help themselves, you know? All right, let's watch this video, and then we're gonna play some
for the first
Terror Fantasy. Let's check this video from Dread Roberts, because it's a good follow-up to the video that we made on Concord when it initially launched into beta and was a massive flop in terms of players and a lot of people's opinion on the game as well. And some of the controversy and the activism that was kind of pushed into the game, which really just led to it being a bit of a freaking shit stain, really. Let's check this out as a follow-up. Concord obliterated by Chinese mecha game. Player numbers skyrocket as gamers reject DI and Sony. This is it Mecha Break, or I think it's called, or Mech Break or something like that. I think it's like I think there's a PvE, PvP side to it. It kind of looks awesome, actually. Might have to check it out one of the days.
So for the first time in a hot minute, I finally have some exciting gaming world news to share with you all today, as it has a lot to do with a brand new independent game called Mecha Break. If you have not heard of it,
yeah,
it is
that one, yeah.
third-person mecha shooter, a game very similar to Armored Core 6. If you've played the From Software Armored Core series and you know exactly what I'm talking about, I would say that this game is very like the sixth one, the most recent one that I have actually clocked about 100 hours into. I really love
still haven't
mechas.
played that game
I've
yet.
grown up with mechas, watching Gundam and
dude, who doesn't love mechs, man? Like, they're fucking cool.
Evangelion and other anime shows, as well as just old Japanese shows and other
Gundam Wing was my shit back in the day. I've got so many freaking, you know, the snap together models. I've got so many of them.
movies that have
never actually finished one though.
Robots and mechas. I've always enjoyed those kinds of shows and movies, and so I love games like these, and I wanted to get my viewers excited about something, because all I've been bringing lately is bad news. Well, the good news about this game is that it has hit the ground running with its playtest beta that is actually running until August 13th. What I wanted to show you guys.
Interesting. Do you have to pre-order that to get access to that, or buy the game to get access to it? Because I would like to play it. The gameplay I've seen, it looks kind of insane, like fast-paced, mecha combat, basically.
Some gameplay here, because what Mecha Break does is three very important things. The first is that Amazing Season Games has focused on their player base. They want to make a very exciting game, and that has been their focus. Two, not only does it look great, but it looks like their developers are very based as well, as we will get into a couple of things with American voice actors not wanting to do work for this developer because of fan service. It's going to be hilarious to go over. And the third thing, as well as my most favorite thing, is that it is crushing Concord in the beta player numbers. And we're going to go...
Yeah, but that's not hard, is it, though, that? You know, that's like saying, like, do you reckon you could beat up a toddler? It's like, I'm not gonna comment, but, yeah.
Over those as well. So let's check out some gameplay here so that you guys can get excited about this game. If you're interested in mecha games, this one looks like a lot of fun, and it is currently taking requests to participate in the player beta. So check this out, man. This reminds me so much of Armored Core 6. Yeah, this is awesome.
Dude, the gameplay looks fire.
Multiplayer modes, various types, and different robots and characters that you can customize.
I think it's got like a loot box system in it as well, isn't it? Which I know for some people won't be an enjoyable part of the game. I don't know. Is this game paid or is it going to be free to play? I'm not too sure, because the Chinese MO is typically to go free to play and then have like heavily monetized systems in the game, isn't it? Which I'm totally fine with. But that seems to be the way they go about things. But I can't remember if this game's premium or freemium.
Yeah, this is looking sick. This guy said that I can't explain how incredible Mecha Break feels. I literally haven't been all in on a game just from movement alone since the first time I tried Gun Evo. Look at this, just look at this, he says. Has almost 500,000 views, getting a lot of attention. This developer has hit the ground running, as I have said, and a lot of people are taking notice of it.
See, this is what I was going to mention. Again, China, Japan, Korea, they get it. They get it. They understand who the majority of people is who plays video games. Now, you can listen to all of the freaking polls and stats that come from the West. What is it that I've heard now, that 51% of gamers now are female, which I just don't buy that for shit. I don't know if they're talking about Farmville on Facebook, but anybody who plays multiplayer games and is involved in games, we all know the demographic for the most part. So why would companies ignore the demographic to try and appease people who don't even care about the stuff that they're making? It's like we see it in Star Wars and a lot of IPs within TV now, don't we? They're so desperate to appease to a group of people within the journalist space and people that just don't care about the stuff they're creating, that this is why it flops, because they aren't actively go out the way to alienate the fan base to try and appease this group of people who are never going to be fans, and then lo and behold, the shit fails. So it's great to see things like Concord that we're actively trying to push that. Don't get me wrong, at the end of the day, I don't like seeing games fail. I want to see better games all the time, but I hope that more of that sort of stuff dies, because at the end of the day, the game should be a fun game and appease the player base, and not everything has to be sexy freaking waifu characters. I don't need that. I'm not that shallow, you know. I don't mind characters that are not that design philosophy. I don't mind like female characters that look like normal women. I'm fine with that, and I don't mind playing as male characters and characters that are ugly or whatever you want to insert into that space to get your idea of the character design. But you know, these guys get it, man, and they're not afraid to add a bit of sexiness into the games. And let's face it, some people like that, especially in sort of light-hearted mecha games. You want to be able to use freaking sexy women characters to fly your mecha with big juicy bums. You know, there's nothing wrong with a big juicy bum, man.
It's progress with players. If you read this post from Manga Lawyer, he dips into this information.
Agreed, Volagar, agreed. This is the thing as well that a lot of these developers don't understand. There's plenty of women out there in gaming that love hot girls in the games. You know, even you're saying they're talking about a large lesbian fan base. There's lots of women who are straight and they love to see sexy female characters in the game because they look good to look at. Like, you know, it's not real. It's just like, dude, look at her booty.
a little bit more. Mecha Break Beta.
How can you not like
came
it?
out of nowhere with minimal advertising compared to AAA billion-dollar companies. Remember that Concord and other games like it have Sony and Microsoft behind them, and they're pushing marketing out for these games every single day, and they're also pushing out side content to try and pump up those numbers and get people interested in the characters and the story, and it's still not getting the numbers that this game that barely has anything going for it is getting. He says it has already outperformed Concord, the last PlayStation game, despite the latter's
It's why I think now we're going to see a massive pivot in the gaming industry in terms of where games, the big games and the real acclaimed games are going to be coming from. At the moment, there's a lot of fan service coming from places like China, but once they really start to level up their storytelling and their emotion in the games and stuff, you know, and take it to that next level like the West's been doing for a while in terms of certain games, in terms of like, you know, story games, dude, they're going to crush it because they're not going to be afraid to ignore the politically correct Stasi who demand everything fits the way they want it to fit because of their feelings. Once they get to that level of really creating immersive, amazing stories with like great visuals, great mechanics, great game design, along with all of the other stuff that they're creating now, dude, they're going to absolutely just destroy Western game development, in my opinion.
hundreds of sponsored articles, paid YouTubers, and general advertising. That is true. The media has been all in on trying to defend and prop up Concord, despite the fact that barely any people have played it. And we go into this a little bit more by taking a look at Mecha Break's profile. So, produced by Amazing Season Games, Mecha Break is a multiplayer mech combat game set in a futuristic sci-fi realm, coming to PC, Xbox, and
Oh, it's coming to Xbox as well.
PlayStation. I honestly feel like these guys aren't getting enough attention. They should be getting thousands of likes.
Yeah, look at some of those mecha designs as well, man. Those mechs look fucking
a lot of
sick.
fun from what I hear. Players are very much enjoying it, and there are a lot of people playing it, as I'm going to show you in just a minute. But they definitely need more attention because games like Concord, crap Overwatch copycat paste games like that are getting all of the big corporations' attention. And
the thing is, though, it doesn't matter. I wouldn't even worry about that, dude. They might be getting all of the big corporations' attention. Look at the player base. Nobody cares. It doesn't matter how much it gets shouted from the rooftops that it should be supported and that it's amazing. People have played it. People have seen it. And people have rejected it. So it just doesn't matter. You know, let them keep funneling cash into it. And then inevitably, the board and the shareholders will look at this and then look at these other games and go, you know what? We just need to stop listening to these people and listen to our player base and give them what we want. It'll happen eventually. Maybe, like I said, it'll be too late and the Chinese market will totally eclipse Western markets because it'll be too late. But we are starting to see a turn. Again, I talk about gacha games. Why haven't we got a Western massive company pulling out a gacha game? The reason why we haven't is because they're too afraid to create freaking sexy waifus at the end of the day. And they know without it, they won't be able to sell the gacha system in the game. You know what I mean? So that's why we don't have those sort of games, because they are terrified of the blowback that'll come from particular parts of the internet if they do decide to do that. You know what I mean?
And the media's attention as well. While these amazing games from China, Korea, and Japan are coming out, getting all of the players' attention, but none of the media screen time that they need. And I'm pretty sure there's a reason for that, because this game reminds a lot of people of Stellar Blade, which of course the media, especially Kotaku and IGN and other outlets like it, are completely against if it's not Baldur's Gate 3 or Hades 2. And I've got some more gameplay to show you guys.
And we all know why a lot of them loved. Don't get me wrong, Baldur's Gate. I haven't played it, but it's critically acclaimed by pretty much everybody who's played it. There's reasons why they didn't mind some of the more sexual things within that game. We all know why.
It's right here. Check this out, man. Dude's just stomping this guy. And there are a lot of execution styles from what I hear. You can customize your mechs in different ways. I've got some screenshots to show you guys about the customization, not just for the mech.
So I'm saying, dude, man, freaking hot girls, giant robots, what's not to like?
But as you can see here, the female characters in this game are highly customizable as well. And this is something that the West is trying to get rid of, all right? If you don't like butts and chests flashing in your face, that's completely fine. Not everybody is about that. But what this customization does is give players the actual freedom to make the...
Exactly. And there it is. And there it is. As I said, Not every game has to be that. I myself, I love a freaking hot girl in a video game or a big booty waifu or whatever it is. But you don't always need that. Sometimes I want something gritty. I want something visceral. I want something dark. I don't want any of that. But the option to have that in a game where you're allowed to create characters is what you want. If you want your character to look as androgynous, I'm not even saying the word right. If you want your character to look as freaking whatever as you want, you can have it looking like that, you know? You can have it looking as masculine as you want, or as feminine as you want, or as non-sexy or super sexy as you want. And this is what it's all about, you know? Let people design their characters how they want to do it. The problem is, in the West, there's too many people that are like, oh, what if the people who don't want big titties see other people running around with big titties? It's gonna hurt their feelings.
Those choices rather than limiting their choices strictly for an ideology that nobody is supporting except for Vanguard and BlackRock.
I can never say the word properly.
Took a few hits financially recently. Very happy to hear about that. But anyway, let's stay on topic. You can already tell from the images here that this is not from a Western developer. This is from an Asian developer. It's really hilarious how beautiful women are now automatically associated with Korean, Japanese, and Chinese developers now, and not Western developers, because those dudes have embraced DEI and ESG completely and pushed down.
For real, dude, words are very hard.
Guidelines to make their characters intentionally.
I'm from Wolverhampton, alright, cut me some slack.
Ugly. It's really insane what they are doing. But these are the comparisons that players are always making, as you can see from this post on Learning the Law. In addition to the original, meanwhile, Japanese ESG companies, no, please, Larry-san, give us a higher score. We'll make all the type A and B games that you want. Diversity and inclusion announcement regarding new game joint development by Koei Tecmo Games and Akatsuki Games Incorporated. Japan isn't perfect, man. China isn't perfect, and neither is Korea. But what you can see by looking at the games that are being developed across the sea right now, they are looking a lot more fun and player friendly than these are. And it's unfortunate.
I don't know sometimes about player friendly in terms of mechanics that are inserted into the game to get into your pocket. Okay, that's a separate thing now, but definitely in terms of trying to appeal to games. They might not always hit it. You know, there's a lot of games that come out that are kind of, especially from my opinion, from Korea, that have that Korea feel to them, and that's not always a good thing. But this looks insane, though. This does. Then again, I think this is a Chinese game, isn't it? But yeah, dude, they get it. They understand. They get the culture, and they're not allowing journalists to tell them what the culture is. They get it. They understand it. The problem is a lot of companies in the West, they either understand it and they're just allowing themselves to be swayed because they don't want to anger the mobs, or they just don't get it themselves. I think it's probably the former, though.
Fortunate that DEI is slowly creeping its way overseas, but that's something that we have to deal with and point out now, because it's growing. Unfortunately, the games that are promoting that kind of ideology are not growing, which is what we're going to get into after we take a look at some of these awesome mech designs from the game. All right,
so these are fucking cool looking mechs. These are.
I've got these images here. You can customize the mechas, and you can even have your mecha look like a male or a female mecha, and even the female mechas look awesome. This is pretty epic customization. I'm one of those people who love to customize characters. You have to understand that the Souls franchise has done that to me. I've spent hours and hours customizing characters in those games and other games, and giving us that freedom is something that gamers really appreciate, especially when you have a customizable mecha that you can take into battle. From what I hear, you can have huge multiplayer scenarios in this game. There's apparently a special third mode that has not been announced yet, but it's supposed to have a lot of people on one team versus another huge team. It's a rumor. I haven't heard exactly what that special.
That'd be cool, you know, like a Battlefield size mecha battle. Dude, that would be insane. That would go so hard.
Special mode is yet, but I'm sure we'll find out. And those are some of the things that you can do in this game as far as customization, all right? And don't worry if you're one of those people who hate beautiful women. If you absolutely hate the idea of a beautiful woman being played in a video game, you can also play as a dude. And you can even make your characters ugly if you want. Look at this one right here. It's amazing. Ah! Oh, man. See, that's
the beauty of video games, though, anyway, isn't it? It's the freedom. Like, take out all whatever you want to think about, anyway, whether it's from a political standpoint or whether it's from a sexual standpoint. If I want massive boobas and I want big bums and I want my character to look gorgeous, take all that out. The freedom to choose what you want, to have something that looks cursed or something that you've spent ages in that looks like super freaking cool. You know, some people spend so much time in certain character creations, don't they? And you just look at the character like, dude, that is fucking sick, man. Like, a lot of time went into that. And then some of us just like to just dial up the freaking, you know, the actual dials on the boobs. Let's just drag that all the way to 100. Let's drag that all the way to 100, and you know, just do as we please. That's the good thing, man. It's that freedom. What's the point in having a character creation when you can't actually create the character you want?
You can have the most beautiful female characters in the world if you want to in this game, or you can make them look like a DEI hire. The choice is 100% yours.
Nah, that needs blue hair.
And by the way, I have to admit, this is one of the most grotesque creations I've ever seen. And I've watched a lot of people intentionally botch their character designs in Souls games. So this is pretty intense. Which brings us to the website of Amazing Season Games. These guys are based in China, and they have...
That's where I knew I'd heard the name. These guys work on Snowbreak, don't they?
Have Mecha Break on their front page, which is doing very well on Steam, which is what we're about to see in a second. But they also have 2 other projects. One that they got really popular with was JX3 Online. Pretty sure that that's a mobile game. They are very independent. From what I understand, they're not quite AAA. Oh, and one of my favorite things to read on their front page was their About Us section, which you guys have to hear for yourselves. It begins with creating happiness, spreading happiness, and sharing happiness. How hard is it to give people such a simple thing as happiness? It says, founded in 1995, Amazing Season Games is a subsidiary of Kingsoft Corporation and one of China's first gaming companies.
I didn't know that.
They're one of the first of their kind, with over 2,000 employees in Zhuhai, Chengdu, Beijing, Shanghai, and Silicon Valley. The company emphasizes independent R&D and uses its proprietary 3D game engine. Amazing Season Games develops titles for PC single-player games, PC online games, and mobile
You share happiness with your wife all the time. It's hard to seem to share disappointment.
devices and has independent
Not for me,
publishing
for her.
capabilities. Best known for the JX Online series, which boasts over 4 million monthly active players in Asia, so they are really popular in Asia right now. The company is dedicated to bringing the joy of gaming to players worldwide. That is a description of a gaming company that I have not seen on other gaming websites lately. A lot of them preach to...
Dude, that's one thing as well about Chinese cities, and then they look so clean, don't they? Don't you think? Like, just look how clean that looks, man. Now, I know obviously it's a picture from up in the air, but even when you see like videos and stuff from China, just obviously in the urban centers and stuff, I know obviously there's poor parts of China, I do understand that, but it just looks so clean. And I'm not even talking about pollution. I just mean in terms of like, you know, it looks clean, man.
Diversity and shove a bunch of pride flags into your faces. If you've seen my previous videos and the websites I have gone to, you will see that diversity, equity, inclusion, and LGBTQ plus is always front and center, with gaming, enjoyment, fun, and customer respect taking a very, very...
It is, isn't it? It is, you know, and I'm not against inclusion, I'm not. But when you put that at the forefront of your business motto, you're never going to be making good things, are you really? You know, if that's your right, we need to make sure inclusion is front and center, and then we'll decide if we make something good afterwards. And then when you don't make something good, and everyone goes, yeah, that's kind of shit, you go, oh, it's because you're one of them bigots, ain't ya? You know?
Long back seat, but they have become very popular over the years. And now that they have Mecha Break becoming so popular, they also have another game in development. I'm not sure if it's released yet, but it's called Snowbreak. And Snowbreak has already had its share of controversy, even after only being announced. As you can see from Learning the Law.
How old is this video? This game's been out for ages, bro. Ages. Yeah, we watched this video yesterday.
He touches upon some of the friction that is being harbored by Western voice actors. Snowbreak containment...
It's not just Western voice actors, though. It's not just Western voice actors. So I just got to say that. We have heard from all the videos and other things that we've watched that there is some VAs in China, whether that's around their viewpoint on the fan service or Hoyo and other companies have got something to do with that. I'm not too sure, but it's definitely not just Western VAs.
Zone. Same developers as Mecha Break, Western voice actor refuses to work with the developers due to fan...
Agree, Velaga. Agree. That's exactly my point, you know. Again, I am all up for inclusion. and everybody to have the chance to be involved in a project and to make everybody feel like it somehow is going to represent them in some way. But that shouldn't be the forefront, because I think if you do, because it's at the end of the day, take out whether it's race, culture, sexuality, religion, whatever you want to do in terms of inclusion. If you just spend your life trying to please everybody, you please nobody. And that's what a lot of Western companies are doing nowadays. They're desperately trying to please everybody, and they're pleasing nobody at the end of the day.
Service. Shortly after the developers claim, we know our players' needs. Wow, this might seem like a based Japanese company. No, it's China. Already, the West has eyes for this game, and the eyes are full of fire and fury, and so they're doing everything that they can to speak out against the game, all right? If you have a beautiful woman in this game, you're going to get pushback from Western voice actors, from other game developers that are jealous of these game developers that are making far much more money and having far more players play their games. And you're also going to have the media in their majesty finding ways to smear these developers. I bet that this is going to happen. I can almost guarantee it. When the game releases, you can bet that the media is going to be on fire, and they're going to find ways to criticize this game while also praising it. IGN has already done that. As you can see from this article that they wrote, they said Mecha Break is like a multiplayer mecha anime brought to life. They have to praise it because it is an awesome game. I've already signed up for the beta. If you guys have not done so, you should totally sign up. There are 5 or so days left of this beta. You might see me in there. Send me a comment if you did sign up and get access to the beta. We'll see if that happens for me, and maybe we can link up and play some of this game together. But Developer Amazing Season hasn't discussed this mysterious third mode. Of course, I mentioned this a minute ago. Beyond describing it as a PvPvE experience that's similar to a battle royale. Dude, that sounds so sick. And IGN finishes with,
I don't know if I'm really needed battle royale in another battle royale. Hey, I guess we haven't really had a mecha battle royale, but I don't know if I need another battle royale. I just think the genre's got its kings now. We don't need another battle royale. But if it's similar to a battle royale and it kind of works in terms of, like, I don't know. I don't know how exactly they'll do it, but, you know, if it's got that sort of you're down, you're out kind of thing potentially, okay, all right, interesting. The stakes are higher. Well, I don't need another battle royale, really.
I came away from the closed alpha and the interview for Mecha Break wanting more thanks to the fun, dazzling mech action at its core, but I also came away excited and curious to learn more about its third, large-scale multiplayer mode. Here's hoping we won't have to wait too long to see what it's all about. I can't imagine how cool it will be to have like 20 or 30 mechas fighting each other in a giant open space. That's kind of what I've always wanted in a mecha game. I've always wanted a Gundam game specifically to have that kind of multiplayer mode in it, but that game has not come along just yet. Maybe this one will fill that need for gamers. From the looks of things, it already appears to be well on its way. As you can see on Twitch, Mecha Break has 6.7 thousand viewers right now. The people are playing.
See, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what journalists say. It doesn't matter what the media says. If a game is good, the players will come, and word of mouth and content creators will do the job that the media refuses to do. You know? That's why nowadays it's a perfect time for these companies to just go, do you know what? We don't care what you say. We're just going to make this thing and we'll let the community decide. And it's great to see that the community has gone, yes, please, more. And it's like, fuck those guys, man. You don't need them nowadays. Like, I understand that legacy media still can cause problems for corporations. They can. But that's because we allow them to. At the end of the day, the media's got no fucking power without people believing it and going along with it, you know what I mean? And I'm glad to see that we've got more companies from different places of the world that just don't give a shit about the silly fucking Western media, and they just do their thing. And hopefully Western companies will be like, okay, all right, you know what? Let's fucking do it too. I don't know how long that's going to take, but I think hopefully it should start happening soon. I'd like it to start happening soon anyway. Maybe I'm a little bit too naive of how downtrodden some creators in terms of these sort of spaces are in the West, because they have been kind of fucked over a lot, haven't they? People who decide to step out of the status quo, so to speak, in regards to what's allowed, you know, what the thought police think you're allowed to think and say and do. So, yeah, man, Long may it continue.
The beta, and from what I can see, a lot of them are VTubers, which is pretty epic. So there is a growing fan base for this game. They have 7.8 thousand followers, and just in case you are curious, yes, this is completely crushing Concord's beta numbers, because if you go over to their page, oh my goodness, not even half of what the aforementioned indie game.
There's one person streaming it before. Is this just a rerun though or something? Watching some of my Concord. I think this dude's just watching his own gameplay back, yeah.
Has going for it. Concord only has 2.1 thousand followers with one person streaming it with 4 viewers. And some
the beta is done though, isn't it? Because the game comes out at the end of August, yeah.
We're going to be like, well, Dread, the beta's over now. You can't just sit there and spread misinformation and lie to your viewers like this. Well, hey, let's take a look at the Steam charts, all right? What is the all-time peak for Mecha Break right now? Again, this beta has only been out for a couple of days. It's already peaked at 10,344 players, decent. All right? Just keep in mind that Concord not only had a closed beta, but an open beta as well, and they could not get even close to these numbers. Currently, the people playing right now already double the all-time peak of Concord's beta numbers, 5,000.
I was just about to say, it didn't get to 5,000, did it? But yeah, I was going to say, it only got to around about 2,500, didn't it?
645 people playing an hour ago. And as you can see from the chart, it looks like the player count is getting even higher as it goes on. So judging from what Steam and from what X and from what Twitch are telling us, this game is well on its way to success, unlike Concord. Concord only peaked at like 2,000 or 3,000 something. I have this post here.
All-time peak, 2,300. Damn. The only good thing about this game, though, was the facial animations in the characters and the cutscenes, because they were pretty good. They were pretty good. Whoever was working on those, hire that person, because they did a really good job.
Here from Morrow NL, the first day of the Concord Open Beta peaked at 2,388 players on Steam. Okay, that was on the first day. I'm pretty sure they peaked at like 3,500 or something. I tried to look it up on Steam charts, but there's an error and I can't look at it.
Okay, maybe I could have swore when I looked at it, though, it wasn't, but then maybe, yeah, right.
Right now, oh well, but these
shit's gonna be $40 as well. What's the betting? I said this in the previous video. This game either needs to launch free to play and should, or within 6 months, this game's going free to play. If it doesn't, shit's dead. You know, just totally dead.
These are the numbers that Concord was getting, all right? This was a DEI-fueled game, all right? The robot has pronouns. All the other characters have pronouns. They just released a cutscene for the game.
I don't know why they would think that would, like... That's just such pandering. And just, like, it's such vapid pandering as well. And even people who want pronouns, do they really want to jump on it? Are they genuinely... Maybe some will, but are they genuinely going to jump on the robot, on the game, and be like, the robot's got, like, they, them, and be like, oh! Yes, that's it. I'm playing this. I'm buying it. I'm buying everything in the game. This is my new favorite game now. Come on, you know?
Today, because they're doing like a weekly cutscene comic panel type deal to.
And that is not going to last very long either. As well, this idea that there's going to be this like cutscene every single week. With how dead this game's going to be, that shit is going to stop rapidly. I bet you unless they've got a bunch already made for the launch, that shit's going to stop rapidly within the first month. It's going to be to like comic book panels where it's just stills. All of those cutscenes will be out the window.
Introduce people to the characters and their backstories, and I've already seen some very cringe dialogue that I don't even have the heart to go over right now. But yeah, this game is not doing well with players, all right? People are not tuning in for it, even when it's an open...
Like, minus all of the DEI stuff, if you will. The game's just mid, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's just like... The gameplay's just weak. It's generic. It's been seen before. It's been done better before. The map design, in my opinion, is atrocious for a game like that. Really bad. Really convoluted. Just didn't have a good layout and a good flow either for a game like this. This game would have probably, and I know it'd be even closer to something like Overwatch, but it would have definitely worked better if it had had some sort of payload mode or some sort of central objective that maybe potentially moved through a map that was kind of designed in a non... what's the word I'm looking for? you know, like a defensive and an attack design to the map. Like they're just the maps were bad in my opinion. They were
And
bad.
yet the other game is doing so incredibly well with no signs of slowing down. Yet on the other end for Sony, all right, one of the biggest publishers in the world cannot get people interested in this game no matter how hard they try. In fact, for the open,
It's wild as well because like PlayStation dropped The Last of Us multiplayer for this. And that's where like Sony and PlayStation have had their like, it's been their Achilles heel, their weak spot for the longest time in terms of in their gaming space is the multiplayer side of things. You know, they do banger single player stuff, but they just can't seem to really like crush that multiplayer side of things. And then when they do come with a game that's going to be their new multiplayer title, they come with this after like getting rid of a game that would have been massive for them, especially if they'd have launched factions on PC as well. You know, it would have been massive. And the idea that the one of the leaks that came from why it was cancelled because they were struggling to come up with an idea to monetize the game. I don't understand why they would struggle to monetize that. It would be successful. Have a store, have skins, have like weapon skins, you know, emotes, the typical thing that people have in those games, and people are just going to buy them. It would have had that many players that it would have been profitable, even if only a small amount of the player base was purchasing things, because it would have been huge. This is going to be an absolute black hole for them on the funding side of things.
Something that is more easily accessible than the people who pre-ordered the game and had PlayStation Plus. The open beta still managed to have even less players when the open beta dropped, which is one of the most insane things I have ever heard come out of the gaming industry. So report, Concord open beta player count declined by 8% on PlayStation compared to its early access beta. So a PlayStation exclusive with an open beta had an 8% decline versus their closed beta that was actually hard to access. How does that even make any sense? This is from That Park Place, by the way.
Because the people who got access to the closed beta told everybody about the open beta how shit it was. And they're like, yeah, you're right then, nah, fuck that.
The report claims the Firewalk Studios Concord open beta had 8% less players than its early access beta on PlayStation. Kess Eilers-Stevenson at True Trophies reports that the open beta, which ran from July 18th to the 21st, had 8% less players than the much more restricted early access beta. Firewalk Studios initially limited the early access beta to those that pre-ordered the game.
That's wild, isn't it, man? That's got to be disheartening, hasn't he? That you have a limited closed player test and less people turn up to the open test. It's like, damn, bro. Damn.
However, it opened it up to PlayStation Plus subscribers. Nevertheless, the open beta was available and still failed. Stevenson wrote that using a gameplay data sample from over 3.1 million active PSN accounts, courtesy of our partnership with Game Insights, we can see that Concord has 8.1% fewer players in the second open beta than in the early access beta. So what does that tell us? Well, it tells us that Asia knows its market. It knows what gamers want and it is trying to provide that. The West is dropping the ball. Evidently.
See, like, that's true. I think there's lots of people in the gaming space in the West that know what gamers want, but they just refuse to give it them, or they're not being allowed to give it them by the powers that be because they need to give what the journalists want or want people to want. You know, they don't want to give you what you want. They want to give you what they think you should want. And I think that if they keep doing it, that they'll change the way people think about things, and it'll just take that one hit, and then everybody will roll over and be like, okay, just do what you want now. It's just like at the end of the day, people want what they want, and they know what they don't. And gamers know that, and it's a cutthroat space. And if you're not willing to give people what they want, somebody else will come along and do just that. And in a space where we get plagiarism as well, rampant plagiarism, you know, these games are going to come out with a core premise that might be good. And other developers just come along and go, all right, then, you fucked up there. You screwed the pooch. We'll just steal your idea and just make it better.
On purpose. Everything that I see coming out of this DEI push seems very forced, and it is being commanded by the powers that be to be shoved down our throats, while Korea, Japan, and China are doing their darndest to just make games that are appealing to gamers, not trying to undermine and demoralize the male audience that they have, but instead trying to appeal to them and make them happy and give them an exciting game to play. I'm super thrilled thrilled about this, man. A mecha game with a possible battle royale mode. Dude, that's sick. I feel like that's one of the only types of
I just think it's kind of weird as well that a lot of these people say that there's very little difference between men and women, but then want to force a different kind of game because they believe it's more inclusive. And it's just like, well, female gamers are just like men, right? So surely they're going to like what a lot of the men like. Yeah, surely, if that's the way they think, you know, but they don't think like that. They think, well, women and different people and people of a political, a particular a cultural, political persuasion don't want that. When I think at the end of the day, gamers just want good games. It's like people who are into Star Wars. Women who are into Star Wars don't want Star Wars to change because they're into Star Wars, and it's not because they're a woman that need it to be different. They like it because it's just cool. You know, like people who don't like Star Wars don't dislike Star Wars because there's not a main female character or it's not female orientated. It's because they don't really like space wizards, you know? But they just don't seem to understand that.
Game that should have a battle royale mode, and we're about to get it, and you can play the beta right now. But for Concord, dude, the media is trying to praise this game. They're trying to shill for it, defend it, and it is still doing horribly, even when it's being pushed out by Sony, even when it's put on the front page of their PlayStation State of Play as a main prioritized feature. Yet these Chinese developers, who should by all accounts not be all that well known, have hit the ground.
The best bet, go free to play. Remove all the shit with like the pronouns on characters, because at the end of the day, it's just dumb. They're just trying to pander to people who probably don't even give a fuck. I don't even think people who are non-binary and trans, I'm not trying to speak for them, care about that when they're playing a video game. They just want a good video game at the end of the day. I don't need a game to push straight white male viewpoints on me for me to want to play it. If it's a good game, I'll play it, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. And I think that goes for everybody of any persuasion. They need to go free to play. They need to make or delay the game and go free to play. Change the fundamental design philosophy. Work on adding some new characters. Try and make the game a little bit more unique. Switch up the game modes and just really take it back to the drawing board. And potentially the game could do decent. But I think in its state, it's just destined to flop, isn't it?
Sprinting towards success. They had minimal marketing. How in the world did word of mouth get out about this game? Well, I suppose it must be a lot of fun. And when something is a lot of fun and a lot of people enjoy it, they start talking to their friends about it. And that is what you see here. Gamers being interested in one game and not the other. The question is, how is the media
organic
and
as
the
well.
Game developers who are against actually fun video games, how is their reaction going to be when this game releases and if it succeeds? I assume that the media is going to have a mental meltdown. They're just going to freak out, run around in circles in their offices, and write the most smeary articles you have ever seen. It is something that we have seen prominent as of late when it comes to games like Stellar Blade, Lollipop Chainsaw, anything that comes out of Korea.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that Expedition 33 as well. That game looks cool.
Korea and Japan nowadays, or China for that matter, Black Myth Wukong, for example, they're going to attack it because that is what they do. And again, the beta ends Saturday, August 10th until Tuesday, August 13th. This game's coming out soon, guys, and I'm pretty thrilled about it. There are a couple of other games that I'm super excited about that I'm...
Okay. All right. Oh, so the beta starts 10th. Damn, there's a lot of stuff coming out to the mini-man. Spectre Divide is getting its open beta, I think, on the 13th. I think, shit, what's the other game that comes out on the 13th or the 16th that we were talking about earlier? Fuck. Arena Breakout. Yeah, you know, with those coming out, well, obviously I know Spectre Divide's, well, actually, Spectre Divide's probably going to be competing with Concord more than the other two games, really, because I know Concord's not exactly competitive, but it fills that space a little bit more, doesn't it? And that Spectre Divide, actually, that's a game that Shroud's involved in some way. That game actually looks really cool. I'm looking forward to that, actually. I can't wait to play that on the beta test, because I did get in the playtest, the closed playtest that happened, but it was only on for, like, so many hours, and I missed it, because it was running, like, PTS time, so it didn't start till, like, the evening for me, and I didn't know that, and I went on the next day, and it was done. So that sucked. But yeah, I'm looking forward to checking that out.
Wary of, though, I think the biggest game that I am prancing around right now is Space Marine.
Yes, we watched a little bit of this yesterday. I cannot wait for this game.
Too, but Pirate Nation does have something to say about it. He says in this post that I will slowly scroll down if you want to pause the video and read it. He says that the graphics are pretty insane. The gameplay is pretty insane. There are multiple modes to enjoy.
The graphics
and
do look good.
This game did leak, but I haven't showed any footage about it because I actually care about this game's success if it is of quality and not just a DEI woke fest. I have no idea if this game
looks fire. I watched a bit of Jack Frags playing it and somebody else playing it. Game looks fire. Can't wait.
Woke stuff in it, if it has any DEI or ESG aspects, but from what I can tell so far, nobody has said anything particularly negative pertaining to that kind of.
To be fair, although like some game workshop games suck, they are quite protective of their IP though, so I don't think, I would hope anyway, they don't seem to really allow that sort of shit to creep into the game. The game's diverse anyway in the sense of the cast of characters you can have because of the setting that it's in, and that's never been a thing. Like, you know, there's plenty of badass female characters and people from different cultures that are within the Imperium and all the different races and such. But yeah, they really are quite protective of their IP, so I would imagine, like, you know, in terms of it from that point of view, it won't diverge from what they expect. It's just whether the game will be good, but it looks fucking insane.
Problem. So we'll see if this game is really all that it's cracked up to be, despite one of its senior lead writers being one of those trans ideologues. And I'll keep you guys posted on if
I just, dude edited that there, didn't he? I wonder what he said. I can't wait to just kick the shit out of some Tyranids.
Or any updates around this. But it certainly looks to me like gamers are taking a stance when it comes to games from Asia and games from the West. When it comes from the United States or, you know, developers in France or Canada or whatever, people are just eyeing the Korean, Chinese, and Japanese games, and they're leaning towards those because it seems like that's the only way we're going to get any kind of quality game that doesn't try to make beautiful women seem like a sin and handsome and strong men.
That's the thing, isn't it? You know, like, it's fine for games to not have that, but it's the idea that, like, it's meant to feel like somehow wrong when a character's attractive, you know? Like, it's just weird, isn't it? Like, there's nothing wrong with women looking like women and looking beautiful as well.
And seem like a sin. Keep your eyes open, keep your ear to the ground, and we'll see how Mecha Break does in the coming days. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the beta, and that is all I've got for you guys in this video today. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you haven't had the chance to like it and share it with your friends, that would be awesome. And hey, if you're feeling ultra spicy, consider subscribing to my channel so that you're always up to date on what kind of thing I've got going on. I look forward.
Alright guys, check out Dread Roberts. He just makes some good videos, man. Yeah, I've spoken about this many times. You'll hear me say that little line that the East will save us when it comes to video games, and I believe that. You know, I think there's going to be a major pivot in the gaming industry over the next few years as they continue to make more money, to get more well-known on the global stage. I think all they need to do is really, really lean into stories that will interest people on a global stage a little bit more as well. And I'm not saying that a lot of the games don't interest me, but they tend to have a particular type of storyline that is catered more towards a Chinese audience, and that's fine. That's where they make the most of the money. But as they get bigger globally, hopefully we'll start to see more games that, in terms of the story, like, are a little bit more, not so much appealing, but like, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but just are attractive in that sense, and are well built. Like, because sometimes a lot of the games kind of have not that they've got bad stories, but they're just kind of worky. They're emotive in sometimes, but then other times it's just like, dude, this story is kind of trash. You know, they don't feel very adult. That's sort of the word I'm looking for. They're not very adult a lot of the time. And if we get more of that, dude, the Chinese game market's going to crush it globally. Games Workshop have done it recently. Have they? In what? In what? What, in 40k or just standard Warhammer? So that's one thing I've liked about, don't get me wrong, there's been plenty of crap games. And I think sometimes they've been a little bit too protective and give away the IP in it. Not giving away, but like being so protective with it to a degree that it's negatively affected some of the other projects that have come involving the IP. Or are you talking about the Henry Cavill show? Oh really? I was gonna say I know over the years they have done some switches in terms of the lore. There hasn't been the because the thing with the lore, especially in 40k as well, is it's very vague, isn't it? Which is one of the things I love about, like, don't get me wrong, never played any tabletop stuff from Games Workshop, but I love the universe of 40k, and that's one thing that I really like about it, that it's told in a very vague way. It's told as like how kind of like how history's told, isn't it? That it's like reported from word of mouth throughout the, you know, there's a lot of stuff that just we don't know where this happened or how this happened. We just kind of have had witness statements and things that are just known because it's been known for years from other people. It's not necessarily told from a narrator's kind of standpoint, and I love that about the lore. Yo, what's going on, Cyber Gamer? What should I use those standard ones on now? Should I continue using them on this shit? To like switch it out to like one of the other ones or something? Or what? I'm liking the game so far, I am actually. I've been having fun with it. I've said multiple times, like, you know, the game's definitely not as polished as something like WuWa. But I appreciate some of the jank, and so far I have been having fun with it. I appreciate that there's quite I'm saying there's like, out of like other gacha games I've played, and I know this leans into like an MMO-like kind of game, that the variety in some of the gameplay mechanics early on was quite refreshing, and it feels like they definitely try to attempt to do things that are less safe than some of the other games. Not all of it necessarily works that well, but I like that. I was sort of saying I want Wuthering Waves to do. I want them to try some events that are a little bit more, you know, like a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Off the beaten path, so to speak. Where are we going? We're going over here. We've got a mission to go then, yeah. Let's do this. Fucking heads itchy, man. So I got fleas, bro. I don't know. Dude, you mentioned me being on the grind yesterday. I'm UL 41 and my character levels are maxed out at 70 now. Hey, he's addicted, man. We got him, boys. We got him. We got him, boys. We freaking got him. I've been trying to get Neo into so many games that I've been playing for years, and they've never really hit, and we got him with the freaking anime waifu games. Let's go, lads. One of us. One of us. One of us. Yeah, a lot of people have said that, sorry, but like, I understand that, like, especially in 1.0, that it's probably not the best representation for the game, but at the same time, I kind of wanted to experience all of it if I could. Like I was saying to people, like, if it gets that bad, like, I might skip, but I wanted to try and experience it, how people experience the game on launch, so I can really get a good viewpoint of it, like. Yeah, pretty much everybody said that. The game does get better as you go through it. How's the game looking as well? Stream still looking smooth, is it? It's true, I'm fucking up now. Big fan of the music as well, man. The music's got some bangers. Some absolute bangers. Big fan of the fact that when you're climbing as well, you don't lose stamina. And when you jump. Don't know why I did that. I could have just rocket jumped up, but whatever. We won't talk about that. I like the 1.0 story. Definitely not a masterpiece of a story, but I enjoy it. I think this game's charming. I think that's the right word as well for me. It's quite charming. Still haven't got Verena though at this point. I might not even need her. My Beiji is doing pretty damn well right now. Yeah, hopefully soon as well, man. There'll be a character to rival Verena. Dude, like, if this was like a cliff in Genshin, it'd just be like, nope, not happening, you know? Not happening. Smoker's lungs in Genshin. Man, I used to smoke. Well, I never used to smoke cigarettes. Well, I did smoke cigarettes from when I was about 16 till I was about 20. But I used to smoke a lot of weed, you know? Dude, even when I used to smoke a shit ton of weed, man, I had better freaking stamina than Genshin characters. And I'm an asthma, you know? An asthmatic weed smoker had more stamina than Genshin characters. Yeah, I had to. What game was it? I started playing, and it was Spacebar was dodge, and I just had to rebind the game because I was just like, dude, this is fucking weird. This is so used to dodge being shift. Yeah, I'll be on it later. Every day, that's what I'm saying. At the minute, WuWa is still the only game that I daily log in. I do my dailies, like even if I don't stream. I did a little bit yesterday. Or I was doing a sweep on my PC yesterday, like, and it took like a, you know, like now and again I just like to make sure my PC's all protected. So I was like doing a full on scan that took like an hour and 10 minutes. And while it was doing it, everything was running slow, like, so I couldn't really do everything I wanted to do in Wuthering Waves. But yeah, dude, man, every day I get in and I do my shit, even if I ain't streaming. Ow. Did you use your 80 standard pulls yet? I don't know. I did my 30 pulls on the selector. I did do some other pulls, but I don't know if I don't know really. I'm still a little bit unsure of. Oh wait. I guess not. From Annie Auto 5-star. Why am I looking at that? Where am I looking? Where am I looking? Nothing. Okay, what, use them on these banners, yeah. Like, try, because obviously I got my SSR in the healing. So, like, should I switch to the, do an attack and a fortitude? Now that's fair, Neil. You should definitely save some of your solvents for later on stuff, like, because, you know, there's certain stuff that, like, becomes harder to come by. Like, I've still got, like, 17 solvents left. Like, I was at the point where I was, like, I was sitting on, like, 30 plus solvents for ages. I just didn't want to use them. I was just stacking them. Actually, I got to, like, 40 plus, I think, at one point. Let's do 2 pulls on this as well, then. Right, okay. Alright, let's pull on here then. Should have done a 10 really, shouldn't we? Oh shit. Oh nice. That's a copy then of that, yeah. Sweet, sweet. Can I do 10 pulls on this? I don't think I can I? I'm gonna just do a 1 or a 1. Why is one black and one blue? I'm still super overwhelmed by all the different stuff in this game at the moment. Oh, I can do 10. Can do 10 now. Okay, that's changed now because I've hit the 30. Yeah. All right, cool. Because I could only do. It was only just 1 and 1 then. Yeah, that's weird. All right. Let me just check. Oh, what's it? A second. So I got This pre-tap to edit weapon loadout presets. What's that? Set the equip matrix as the current preset. I don't have any other matrices oh yet, do I? I need to get some more. Okay, what does that do then? So I've got a 1 star. How do I Ah, there we go. Okay. We're 2 star now, yeah. So what was that? What does it give us? Increase the current weapons base attack growth by 10%. Wait, is that a 2 star now, or was it just a 1 star? Wait, I'm confused. Didn't I just get another copy of this, though?
Do you need my help?
Okay, went to 1 star. Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. I'm tripping. Ignore me. Yeah. All right, let's go. Gamma. Okay. I think we're on 2 star with that now. I think we are, yeah. Okay, nice. We're getting them copies, boys. We're getting them copies. Let's go. Gamba, gamba, gamba. Two secs. Hey, let's go, boys. Let's go, boys. Nice, nice. Order another 10. Why not? It's free real estate. Hey, let's go, let's go, let's go. It's gold. It's gold. What is it? Come on. Come on. Nice. Let's go. Where's me gold? Scythe of the Crow. Wait a minute. Isn't that dude who was at the, Oh, nice, bro. Nice. Let's go. That was a decent 10 pull, wasn't it? Hey, let's go. And you still get an SSR when your pity hits 80. Fuck yeah. Dude, that is a super generous system, that is. Let's fucking go. That's it, King. Yeah. Yeah. I'm feeling this system. What you got for me? What you got for me? What you got for me? Man, we're getting those Hilda copies, boys. So say if you got another gold, if you was lucky enough now, you got another SSR, you'd still get one at 80, so you could get 3. Pepper. Yeah, jeez. Fine for a start, I guess. King is one that was in the standard. Oh, okay. Chimp is officially at the cage and he's throwing poo at the windows. Yes, bro. Monkey brain is in full effect right now. My endorphins are pumping. He's getting the gambling addiction. Okay, alright. More heals, more heals. Oh, we got double of it that time. Let's go. Jeez. 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 Oh. Was that 80 bulls already, was he? Glemfnir. Gleipnir? Is she good? It's guaranteed works if you can't find more than twice, but you also can't win more than Oh, okay. Hey, that's still pretty generous, though. That's still pretty generous. Oh, fuck yeah, boy! Fuck yeah, boy! Double SSR! Fuck yeah! I know who this dude is. He's gold, though, so, you know, I'll take it. Let's fucking go. I don't even know if I'm at 80. Yes. Yes, I am at 80. That was our 80, yeah. Sweet. So we got what? 3 SSRs? Hey! That's what I'm talking about. I ain't used to that. I ain't used to that. So I'll take that. I will take that. Let's fucking go. I didn't realise I was still on the cliff edge while I was doing this. It's on the cliff edge gambling. I don't know why I didn't use my my rocket booster. Alright, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Ooh, that looks pretty cool, dude. That's fire. Hold up. So this one's... It's ice, is ice shell. Ice shell. Alright, let's nice. Let's go, boys. Nearly got all the stars for that. Okay, this is this then. Is this better than the other one I've got? Oh, this is Volt, so it might be useful to switch to that, I don't know. Because if we switch out for this to fire, we'll have ice, Volt, and fire, won't we? Oh shit, what have I got? Insufficient. How do I get these? Weapon store, collect elemental ores. That's them red things that we're seeing around here. Okay. Alright. See, I'm thinking I'm probably better switching out to this one. Cause that way then I've got Volt, Fire, and the ice, yeah. Volt weapon's pretty good, is he? I have actually been finding it okay. I want to use this one though. I want to use this one. Let's go find some fucking... Can I, Oh wait, I can... Oh, sweet. Yeah, fuck yeah. How many do I need? 3. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Let's go, boy. Fuck yeah. I only need 5. Oh no, I only need 3. Alright. Man, the game's just telling me I'm a bitch. It's like your weapon level's too low. You're a bitch. Sort it out. Figure it out. It's best you can get for Volt. Oh, easy. Thing is though, how good is this fucking... Oh shit. What does this do? It's not healing me, is it? Playing the tune zone. Okay, so it's a buffet. Okay, alright. Okay, interesting. Oh, wait. I'm gonna set someone on fire? What's that on fire then? Well, can that like? Will that do like dot damage on enemies then if they're standing in there? All right, that's pretty cool.
Don't you know how it works around here? Money, now.
I don't know if I kind of want to bring the healing back though. I don't know.
Please forgive me. I don't have that much money.
He's super calm. Dude, they look massive next to him.
Leave the money behind, or leave your life behind.
I like the weapon animation attack though.
I'm okay. Thanks to you. I thought I could avoid them by being cautious.
Who are the people you are referring to?
The hyenas, of course.
Hey, the old trick of masking your NPC so you don't have to animate them out.
Hardly anyone comes down here these days.
I'm sent to do an assignment. What happened here?
The hyenas are becoming more
Guess
violent
it works out because he's a miner.
On top of the outbreak in the mines. Life's getting difficult around here.
What's the deal with the outbreak?
Oh, does he?
Who knows?
I didn't know that.
Many miners fell ill and are unwilling to work now. Everyone's hoping the problem gets solved. You're here on assignment, right? Why don't I take you to the mine?
Well, maybe I might switch out the gun for the vault weapon then. I kind of want to use this fire scythe at the moment. It's kind of cool. But at the same time, though, I do like
I'm
the
here to see Mr. Kim on Hygro's order.
The gun.
You're a Hygro special agent? You don't look it. Not everyone can see Mr. Kim whenever they want. I see. I won't ask anything that I shouldn't.
Kind of like the idea of having the buffs, you know? On the ground, attack 7 times. First attack deal damage equal to 48.6% of attack plus second attack. Okay. Summon a consciousness that is separate from the target, dealing damage equal. Okay. We'll figure it out. Alright, stop doing that, Spider-Man. You stop for a bro. If I get ahead of you, do you stop?
My lord, this is the person that meddled with our business.
Holy shit, bro, what the fuck? Hey, I think in a gacha game, that's the first fat female character I've seen. Dude, she had huge melons as well.
We should be safe here. I'm sorry to drag you into this.
Sorry,
they occupied this place about 2 weeks ago. We have to pay them if we want to go through here. Group of crooks they are.
This area looks kind of
nice. I wonder
nice.
when Mr. Kim will take care of the trouble. Oh, that's the entrance to the mines.
Not there. Sorry, bro. I was having a look. Curious, mate. I was curious.
There you are, Gus. I was about to send people to look for you.
Don't remind me. I ran into the hyenas and would have died if not for this hero here.
Dude, this is a universe with people with giant hands, isn't it?
Thank you for saving Gus. He's lucky to be alive.
Cone, this is a special agent of Hycros, here on assignment.
Special agent of Hycros? The bigwigs finally care about us? As a special agent, you must have brought the cure, right? May I see it?
Searching database using keyword cure.
It was an interdimensional power slap contest. These guys would get the gold every
Stop
time.
giving them a hard
like,
time,
holy cow.
Cone. Is Giggs in the base? The agent would like to see Mr. Kim.
Giggs has been here for a while, but they're having quite a quarrel. You should check it out.
Is there any characters that use like rifles like that? That rifle looks kind of
Cone is
cool.
a good man, and that wasn't directed to you. Given our current situation, everyone's in a bad mood.
You know what actually I want to do?
Take you to see Giggs, the foreman.
I want to have a. I
We
want to
need to
have a
go through
different.
him if we want to see Mr. Kim.
Where are you going? Take me with you.
No one likes him, but
Do you have
Mr.
the
Kim's
money?
nephew. You know what I mean?
Looking for me? What?
After
Where are you
Stark,
going?
the
Count my
last foreman,
years.
retired, Giggs took over. No
Where
one
are you
openly
going?
said anything.
Take me with you.
But in private? Sounds like Giggs is arguing with the ones that are on
Annabella has a
strike.
sniper rifle. Cobalt has a shotgun. Yeah, dude. Wuthering Waves needs to get a variety of range weapons in like that. And these dudes just lying down on the job.
We
Or
won't
they
work
hurt.
until the miner's disease is taken care of.
Both.
We're people too! Stop this nonsense! My uncle is working on it. Now get back to work!
Don't my uncle me. You're all talk.
Why don't you go back with your tail between your legs and tell Kim that there's no deal if he can't cure us?
Come on. Just a random crab.
Yes, go back!
You know, if shouting could get things done, I would be protesting with them long ago. See the guy besieged by people? That's Giggs. He can take you to Mr. Kim. However, it looks like he ain't going anywhere for a while. I'm sorry, but I did all I could. These patients are in pretty bad shape. I've got to find someone to take care of them.
Okay, thanks.
Alright, cheers, Rat. Nice one, nice one. I quite like these characters' design. Dude, they're giving knee pads, man. Hold on a second.
When you can read the wind, you can predict the weather. care where we go. I just don't like standing still.
Lads, just sort of a video come up from PlayStation I want to check out. It's showing some of the PvE and PvP in look, my phone's on. Showing some of the PvE and the PvP in Space Marine 2. I'm curious. Okay, so let me just have a little look.
To be an
Okay, alright. Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 extended multiplayer gameplay. I am very much looking forward to this game, so I think we've got a bit of PvE and some PvP versus mode on this, so let's check it out, man, because I'm looking forward to this game. Hope the multiplayer's good. The game's looking insane so far. Dude. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. The Space Marines are looking so badass. Visually as well. The detail is looking nice right off the bat. We're 7 seconds in and I'm already impressed.
To destroy the enemy swarm. Trigger detonation only when the main swarm has
bit of co-op here.
blast zone. Emperor, preserve us all.
I am honored to have Lord Titus command our unit. He has clearly served long and with distinction.
There is short.
So this little icon that's on the ground in front of me, is this like some ranged launch hammer attack, is it then?
To be an ambush.
I have been dying to carve up some Xenos.
Okay, alright. So I'm guessing it's basically co-op horde mode, which it seems like a lot of the game is that anyway, because obviously we're fighting Tyranids, so that makes sense.
I can hear that Carnifex's slavering maw working.
Today, we slay a hive giant.
The voice acting sounding decent as well. The animations look good as well. The animations look really good.
Get that Carnifex with everything we have.
Charging up for a big boy. Boys, I'm just getting more and more excited for this. I can't wait to see the PvP.
Shield our brother. Focus fire on top.
Okay, looks like we've got some sort of defensive ability there. So it looks like we've got grenades, obviously our main weapon, and then our skill, I'm guessing here. Dude, Space Marines are so fucking cool. Holy shit.
We demolished that Carnifex, brothers. Take heart.
I'm just going to say the armor, the Space Marine armor is looking really good. I wonder if they're really going to go in depth. I should imagine they probably will in the PvE and the PvP side of things, like, you know, for microtransactions for the different chapters. It'd be really cool to see.
The flame will stand against them better than any war.
Time to teach them fear.
It looks like it's running decently as well, and I'm assuming because this is on the for the PlayStation 5, this is on PlayStation 5. It looks like it's running well. Now that's a horde.
Ah! Good. They come. I wondered how I might pass the time.
Dude, this is looking so good. Some of these scenes kind of remind me of was it World War Z? You know, with the zombie hordes. Holy shit! Dude, some of these finishing animations look freaking good.
Perimeter breach. Ready for close combat.
The squad is almost fully committed. Be ready for my mark.
Need more trail back.
And that's when you do a perfect dodge, yeah. It comes into this animation where you get that, like, finisher. That's cool. It looks like we're getting these glowing silhouettes as well, so I don't know if it's kind of like Doom, in a sense, when you know, to indicate that you can pull these moves off as well. Yeah, it looks like you. I'm guessing that's like a... You've got your perfect dodges and, like, I guess, finishers. Looks like he's doing some of those finishers, though, just without those, so I wonder if it's because they're smaller ones, or... I don't know. I'm interested. That's cool.
I am going to enjoy watching these tyrannies ride in the flames.
Titus, this is Vespacius. I stand amidst the smoldering remains of our foes.
Excellent work. Move to extract.
Here we go, here we go. And somebody who likes a bit of PvP. Versus mode, Eternal War, Capture and Control. Okay, let's go. Here we go, here we go. This is where we're going to start to see the different chapters, the Heretic Astartes. Dude, oh my god, they're looking so good. I wonder if we're going to have like Chaos Marines as well. Hey, the Adeptus, let's go, boys.
I am executing the
Okay,
Emperor's
so
will,
4v4.
arm to arm with his finest.
Holds the advantage.
Engage on our terms only.
We lost one.
Well, I guess really they are heretics, so they probably are Chaos Marines, aren't they, those? Are they like Horus Heresy Marines, are they? Dude, I'm not gonna lie, these heretic Marines look fucking dope. Oh, look, grappling hooks to close the ground. Interesting. This looks good, this does. Okay, so we can go invisible. Why did he go invisible while he was in cover? I don't know.
Traitor kill confirmed.
Imperial matches assault our territory.
I wonder how invisible you look to other players. because I must admit, when it comes to multiplayer games, I'm never a big fan of like invisibility skills. It's just not my thing. I don't mind it if it's like, the thing is though, because it's like if you're gonna have it and it's really quite visible to the enemies, then it kind of really is a useless ability and it's kind of a waste in a character's arsenal. And then if it is really strong, it can kind of be really annoying sometimes. Obviously, if it's like short-lived and it's got a long cooldown, then it's not so bad. But yeah, I'm just never a big fan of invisibility skills and abilities in any kind of PvP gameplay mode, personally, unless it's kind of like really centered around stealth, the game is. Yeah, not a massive fan of invisibility, if I'm honest. I suppose, though, if you've got characters that are more melee orientated, it kind of, I guess, balances it to allow them to get in close, I guess, but still. Absolutely drenched in blood. The bolt guns sound good. Okay. Ho, September 9th. Dude, I'm looking forward. This is coming to PC as well, isn't it? This, yeah. I'm not tripping, am I? This is coming to PC. I'm 99% sure it is, right? Looks insane. Looks insane. The PvE mode looks crazy. And somebody who is a PvP enjoyer. The PvP mode looks kind of cool as well, actually. I wonder if there's I'm assuming there's gonna be other PvP modes as well. Yeah, this game is looking really good. I saw some of the gameplay recently from the actual story, from the campaign. The game looks gorgeous. Like, the graphical fidelity is lovely. The amount of enemies that are on screen looks great. It's bloody, it's gory, just how it should be in a 40k game. Let's face it, there is only war, and it's like a super dark, gritty future, isn't it? That's pretty much just a universe you would not want to be in. You know, there's lots of fantasy universes where you're like, dude, it'd be kind of cool to exist in that world. This is not one of those. Definitely not one of those, but I'm looking forward to this. Yeah, I can't wait to check it out. And we haven't got long to wait as well, guys. Just over a month now, and we'll be able to get our hands on it. Can't wait. Cannot wait. To go, what's this? Season Pass, Ultramarine Champions Pack, 4-day early unlock. Never a massive fan. Oh, is this just for the DLC, is it? Oh, no, this is... Okay, so pre-order gets you 4-day early unlock and McCragg's Chosen DLC. Whenever they do this with pre-order bonuses, it's never really an early unlock. This is the launch day. They just knock it back, don't they, really? Never a big fan of those 4-day early things when it comes to pre-order bonuses and stuff. But the game's looking fire. The game is looking fire. The animations look great. The visuals are great. It looks like there's some really cool skills and abilities that they've got in the PvE and the PvP. Never really a big fan of invisibility, but hey, you know, you can't have everything, I guess. But looking forward to that Warhammer 40k. Let's go. Dude, I can't wait for that. Cannot wait. Hype. Hype-oo. Hype-oo. Where are we going? This way, yeah. Oh no, we need to go speak to him, yeah.
Excuse me, but what are you
Look forward to the
disputing?
PvE, never been a big PvP player, that's fair. It looked, both look good though.
You should
A
leave.
little bit of
There's an
everything for
outbreak of
everybody.
disease. Everyone is spooked, and we saw those people fall ill. Yet Mr. Kim
I feel
still
like
pushes us to
a
work.
protect the payload mode would be really good in there.
Can get doctors for you?
What we need are meds. And despite saying they'd solve the problem, they brush us off every time. They claimed a special med is coming our way today, so we've waited since morning. But guess what? Giggs told us that hyenas robbed the meds. How could he fool us? We're not gonna stand for this. Giggs has been jerking us around long enough. He better have an answer for us all.
The miners are still agitated. Mia suggests asking Giggs for his side of the story.
She's barely tall enough to stand out of the grass.
Who said you could get up here? Go back down! Lycros, what can I do for you?
Is he a drinker?
I heard the hyenas took your medicine?
Yes, my uncle spent a lot of money developing it, only for those to rob us blind. We put
So
a
he's telling
tracker
the
on the
truth, then.
crate, but we currently don't have the manpower to retrieve it. Look at these fools! They'll mess with me, but not anyone else!
I can get it back for you, but you have to take me to see Mr. Kim.
You can? All right, if you can get it back, I'll take you to my uncle. I'll send you the coordinates, but you've got to hurry. The hyenas
Right,
are
boss man.
leaving with it.
Okay. Is that a pack of cigarettes and a lighter on his helmet?
See that passage? We use that for delivery.
Okay.
The hyenas set up a checkpoint. That's probably where they stashed the medicine they stole.
Right, let's go kick some midget ass then, yeah. Roll the chanting strike. Let's go get him. She's thick. Oh shit, dude, that's still going? Okay. I'll see ya, I'll see ya. What skin is it I used on the Volt weapon then to get the heals? What do I do? Ow.
I've brought the medicines back. Is this it?
Yes, it is! You're a godsend. I can't stand another minute with these fools. Please, pass the drug out and make the crowd go away so I can take you to my uncle.
Thank you.
Shit. Nearly ended him.
What did you just give them, Special Agent?
Giggs said it's a special drug developed by Mr. Kim to treat the sickness.
Thank you. I hope they'll get well soon.
The
My
miners
guy
are
has
still
got a
refusing
Giga
to
Chad
leave.
voice, hasn't he?
Can you convince them?
Sure, follow me. I'll convince them to leave.
A lot of these guys look like they've never worked though, man. Look how fresh their clothes are. You can always tell a new guy or a guy that didn't work hard on site. You know? His boots would be fresh, his trousers would be fresh. You'd be like, yeah, alright, we can see what you do, bro. Fuck all.
The sick ones have already taken the meds. Can we
Or you're a
stop this now?
Sparky.
That's right, I already sent someone to distribute the meds. Why aren't you going back to work?
It's not enough. What about those of us that didn't get it?
There's a lot of awkward pauses in this.
Don't worry, we'll get more. Keep doing this and I'll get my uncle to cut your pay.
Saying that, the Wuthering Waves did that quite a bit early on. You know? Some conversations that get cut off by the next sentence.
one last
Then other
time.
conversations would be like those super long, awkward pauses in between characters talking.
Finally, the peons are gone. That was a chore.
This guy is a dickhead though, isn't he?
Now, will you take me to Mr. Kim?
Follow me. You did us a huge favor, so I'm sure my uncle will be glad to help.
Hilarious.
But before we go, I've got to ask you something.
Here we go.
What is it?
You said Hykros sent you, right? So did my uncle summon you to talk shop?
No. I'm here to ask for Mr. Kim's assistance in shutting off the Omnium Tower that somehow got activated.
So you're the only one Hykros sent?
Yes. Is that a problem?
No, just curious. Let's hustle. My uncle's waiting.
This guy sounds like a sly rat.
Thank you for your help. They've been at this for days.
Jesus Christ, is he 20 foot tall and weighs fucking 20, 30, 40, 50 stone? Holy shit, bro.
If it weren't for my uncle, this place would still be a dump.
What is those stumpy feet, bro?
Yes, it's hard work out here, but we pay them handsomely, and there's plenty of people that want to work here. They're lucky to be working here. Lucky! You know what I'm saying? I mean, just look at them. They'll keep complaining, but they stop the moment you threaten them with firings.
You're a douchebag, bro?
My uncle is too nice. If it were me, I would have kicked out the
Walks with authority, right?
So the others can see the consequences.
They still never be able to sneak up on anybody doing anything they shouldn't be. But, oh shit, he's coming.
This is it. Wait here while I report to him. Uncle, the envoy from Hykros is here. And we took
Has he got a
back
robot
the
cat?
hijacked medicine, too.
Good work, Giggs. Send the special agent.
Hey, bro.
Esteemed agent, thank you for everything you did for us. Please let me know if there's anything I can do for you. It is a severe outbreak. I'm doing everything I can to alleviate the situation, from giving them time off to finding a proper treatment plan. But the production of ore must not slow down. I'm not a philanthropist. I cannot sustain a big business and so many employees solely on compassion.
Right, get back to fucking work.
Have you put yourself in the miner's shoes?
Those shoes, bro.
I've seen all kinds of people and backgrounds. I even know their situation better than they do. The best way to get sympathy is to make yourself look as pitiful as you can. I'm sure you can understand that as well as I do.
You're rather merciless.
Oh, I don't think that's a fair assessment, Special Agent. I've never coerced anybody. They can work for money or they can leave. The choice is always theirs. I don't think Hykros sent you to discuss this issue, though, so how can I help you?
I quite like the voice actor for this dude.
Hykros is looking to shut off the tower with Astrum. I'll be very glad to help, but unfortunately, someone stole my Astrum some time ago. Once I noticed it was gone, I ordered a thorough search, but to no avail. I'm guessing the hyenas are responsible. They harassed us from all angles and seized considerable land from us. But I have a situation on hand, so I can't afford to spare anyone to deal with them.
We can scratch each other's back. I take the hyenas, you find the Astrum.
Deal. Let's start with the simplest step. I got the word that some hyena punks have been causing some problems around here. Think you can take care of them
He's
for
got
me?
super short legs and super long arms. That was quick. Oh, it's happening somewhere else. Okay. Why is anybody scared of these little dudes? Why don't they just go and fuck them up? This guy's a stormtrooper.
Mr. Kim, the hyenas are attacking us and we need help.
Can't stick around. Gotta go. There we go, bro. Some more of them. Oh, did we beat him up before you got here? What's he doing? I need to talk to him. Stunt.
It's safe here now. Any other place that needs clearing?
Thank you for the help, Special Agent. That should be the last of them. But we have to restore order here as soon as possible. Please inform Mr. Kim that we have driven back the hyenas.
Alright. No point relying on you. You're fucking all around the Rican. Do a bit of cooking. Is there anything that we can cook? Ooh, here we go. Generate 5 satiety. It's like satiation. I've never seen it written like that. Used to immediately restore 10% plus 1,500 HP to the Wanderer. Better off just putting it on the really. It sounds better. In the context of it.
I don't care where we go. I just don't like standing still.
Okay. So like when your hunger's full or something, do you get like attack buffs or something?
Well done, Special Agent.
Right, we.
I've got another
Well, he was just running
issue
around.
requiring your assistance. Irvin, Keeper of the Upper Mines, has sent a distress signal. The hyenas attacked the transfer station he's in. We lost contact with...
Are we back? I think we're back, yeah. Yeah, I get random blue screens now and again on my streaming PC. It's ever since I got my 4K 60 Pro Mark II, the capture card. There's an Elgato driver that just causes a blue screen, and it's like random as fuck. Like it can go months without happening. But I've been in contact with Elgato. They know it's an issue, but I think it's so rare that they just don't want to fix it, or they don't know how to fix it, because it happens for some people. Because like I've spoke to other people in forums and online on Twitter, like, who had the issue as well. And yeah, I've had Elgato contact me about rolling back drivers. They've given me older drivers to check out, and like it'll work for a while and then it'll just go back to crashing again. It's annoying.
You can get to the station on the upper level from the tunnel underneath the base. Good luck.
And we back, and we back, and we back. Yeah, we're back. Alright. Yeah, it's just freaking... I was just saying, it's my Elgato capture card. It's a dodgy driver that I've just never been able to fix. I've even been in contact with Elgato. They've given me rollback drivers, but... You know... I've just got to the point now where I just don't... I can't be arsed with it, because like, I can go months without it happening. And sometimes it'll happen a couple of times, and then it won't happen again. Hopefully it doesn't happen again for a few more months. It's just totally random, man. Yeah, there's a few other people who've been having the issue, but I think it's that rare that Elgato just ain't bothered.
Mind your own business.
Okay, that's kind of sick. Yeah, you seen that? Killed him in music. Jeez, man, look at her.
Again. One day you'll pay for all this.
Has she just got like a normal waifu looking face on? You right, mate?
Thank you for your help, stranger. You are...
Mr. Kim sent me. Are you Mr. Irvin?
Yes. That's me. What order is Mr. Kim for me?
Never mind that. Are you okay? You should go back to the base and have some rest.
Assessment. You are in poor physical condition and require rest.
I'm fine. But the hyenas made an ugly mess here. I'm ashamed to face Mr. Kim. Would you mind collecting the loose ore for me? I have to check the equipment for damage.
Saying that though, well, that's just happened. I am gonna have to. Sorry, that was there then. We're gonna pick it up. What the fuck? Alright, maybe when we load back in, it'll be alright. Guys, I am gonna... Sorry about that anyway, cutting off and coming back. But I am gonna have to call it, because it is... it's 4:30, and I've gotta go and get Rosie from work. I don't know if she's going to the gym tonight. She was planning to, but she said she's not really feeling up to it tonight. So, I might try and get live again later. I know I keep saying that, but I might actually. I want to play some more of this, and I want to get my dailies done in waves as well. So, once again, guys... Story for 2 parts, map left on that one planet. Nice, have fun. See yeah, cheers, dude. Appreciate ya. Shout out to everybody who's been hanging out as well, guys. Thank you very much. If I don't see you later, I will hopefully see you tomorrow. So, as always, stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all a little bit later, guys. All right? Ta-ra. Check out the video on the YouTube channel as well. Peace.
I don't care where we go. I just don't like standing still.